And welcome to LAWhammer. This week I'm a bit more of a sedate, calm, kinda ill Andy. Because as you may have noticed, last week we didn't go live. Instead we posted a stream from Birdie, from her Reik adventures. And I'm just going to take a wee moment to go, Birdie. For those of you who've watched that, you're aware of just what sort of antics can occur if you leave Birdie to her own devices. I'm still laughing about what occurred in that one. Now, we've obviously got quite a lot of Reik adventures to go, and we were intending to have taped them by this point. However, I have been, as I mentioned already, rather ill. That being the case, we're going to do something a little bit different this week. Now, of course, I could have taken this week off as well, but I like role-playing. It's as simple as that. I really enjoy it. It's what brings my mood right up, and my mood has been way down in the pits. So this is going to be my turnaround. Fortunately, though, as you will find out, we're doing things a little bit differently this week. A little bit more than that later, but I will be having a little bit of help with my GMing. You'll find out exactly how that's going to pan out. Yeah. I'm high on drugs, man. Before we dive in, I've got two things I'd like to do. Number one is provide everybody with XP for what occurred 2 weeks ago when they successfully managed to secure themselves a barge.
Okay.
Indeed, a barge that they are hoping that they will be able to claim the salvage rights for and bring underneath their name. At the moment, it's being piloted by the good Birdie. And, well, let's be honest, it's really being piloted by Matilda with Birdie in support.
I'm just the muscle, as usual.
Did you manage to destroy all of the cultists that had, let's say, tried to do you in? The answer to that was no. Some of them escaped. So we get ourselves 50 for that. Bar secured. Anything else done? Of any port? Not really. So that's 85 XP. Does anyone have any bonuses to claim?
I know I did discover, or over here, I can't remember the name because my notes are so bad.
The rainbow guy.
Yeah, the rainbow guy. Surely there's something in that.
Rainbow guy.
The bad wizards who all left
Oh, the rainbow guy.
They're bad.
They're not bad. They're just different, right?
They're bad.
Potential Kabbalist.
Yeah.
Yes, that one. Rainbow guy. Let's call him the Rainbow Man. Rainbow Man!
I mean, I'm assuming
yes,
he
you
was
did.
a man just from the
I'll
dead.
take that up to 90 then, actually, because you did get that key fact in place. Do you have anything else that we should claim
Sorry,
for?
what did that bring that up to? 90?
90, yeah.
90.
Yes.
I'll claim the 25.
Saving Lukas.
Do I get my XP?
You do not.
For my
Not until it's occurred.
Reik?
It has not yet occurred, because we're going to be dialing it back a little bit in time. We're going to be on the barge still when we do this, before we arrive at Reik. But we'll get to that in a moment. Yes?
Do I get my short term of be apprenticed to a physician?
You will get that once you are, which won't happen, I think,
Right,
until you've done your Reik adventure.
Yeah.
So, that's good. Anyone else?
I think that's it.
Okay, okie dokie. Right, so that being the case, you've got your XP, no more short terms? No. The next one is just a nice simple one, because we don't really do this every week, because we generally just dive straight into our role-playing and away we go. But I'd like to just take a moment to say super thank you to everyone that's dropped any support our way on our Patreon. It's made an enormous difference from us, not just from the perspective of our mics that we've now got up, but also from the perspective of our cameras, and we're going to be buying ourselves a new map cam. That's after, however, we buy ourselves some chairs, because the chairs we have are already falling apart because we're us. We're just us. So we're going to buy ourselves a completely new set of chairs, and we wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for all of you. So thank you so much. I'd particularly like to call out two people in particular. Our executive producers, Mihao, you rock, and the lore master of Sotek, who, every time I say his name, it just makes me smile. Hey out there, lore master, I hope you're watching just now. So, I think that's everything that we need to do before we get going. Role-playing. It's a good way of having fun and getting going. That being the case, let us start off with episode 9. You'll find out the title soon. The sky is darkening. White clouds are picked out by the last remaining light as the barge has already set anchor. This barge is more than capable of also travelling at night. However, they just don't have enough crew to keep it going both day and night. The crew need some time to rest. Birdie at the moment is currently wrapping up wires, ropes, she keeps on naming them wrong, at the back of the vessel. The number of times that she said something...
of the vessel?
The bum of the vessel, yeah, absolutely. At the very back of the vessel. The number of times that Bloodhilda just looks at her, bites her tongue, or corrects her, has long become a distant memory for most. The father, last night, his hearing returned. It had been returning for about the last 3 days, but very much in a sort of way, because he was deafened not that long ago by the events that happened at the end of Shadows over Bögenhafen. Gerhardt, our noble, has been for the last 2 days beneath decks. To begin with, he was up and about in a crazily promenade, as nobles are wont to do, stretching your legs. But for the last couple of days, he sunk down into the darkness below the holds, and he has taken to melancholically playing his lute, and occasionally just lapsing into silence. When people come to see him, his face is generally up. He puts on a smile. He knows what to do, or at least he did. Today, it's clear to say he got interrupted several times, and he didn't even bother. He just continued to pluck away. He made some comments. He threw back some stuff. But he's clearly introspective, thinking about stuff, whether it's what's to come or what's just come past. It's difficult to be certain. You may, by comparison, has been beavering about the ship, looking at things, a big smile on her face, pointing out passing towers. Looking at the barges going by. Ooh, waving. Occasional waves back. Who stands in stark contrast to poor old Elric. Sometimes looking very grim, sometimes saying nothing, sometimes just bristling. Occasionally, when no one's looking, little flickers of fire pass up across the many brands, tattoos, depending upon how one looks at them, that are marked up of his arms. A bright wizard, fire wizard, who apparently is carrying quite a lot of anger within him. And lastly, let's double check, yes, Alamenowite, nothing worse than forgetting a player. Alamenowite, who has largely been perching in one place, the next place, at one point trying to figure out if she can easily sit at the end of the boom. She cannot, it creaks menacingly. Bloodhilda screams at her. She hops down. What? At the prow. Apparently it's a prow. At the stern, the bum. She's tried shimmying her way up the mast. It wasn't entirely successful. It didn't creak alarmingly, unlike the main boom, but it didn't really feel comfortable up there. But she could get up most of the way up. She's been hanging around the gunnels frequently, just peering over the edge. The urge to push her in.
I'll do it.
Is so strong. But, she might drown. And,
We don't do it.
Difficult world out there.
Gotta learn somehow.
Elves will be naturally buoyant or something tight as well.
They'll just float, walk on
She
water.
releases her sack and then just floats.
By comparison, there are 3 others. Bloodhilda, who is largely piloting the vessel and sleeping soundly through the night. We have the good doctor who is with you, Flaster. She mostly stays below decks and reads. She has quite a lot of reading, apparently, to do. Anyone else? That's it, other than good old Lucas. Oh, is Renee still aboard? I think she got off.
Did she got off?
Yeah, she got off already. That means we only have Lucas. And that is where we shall begin. Lucas making his way over towards Alamenowite, who is perched upon the prow, watching the water drift by. As he comes over and says, might I interrupt, Fraulein Alamenowite?
She'll just turn and look at him. Of course you may.
Are you correcting him?
What did he say? I wasn't
Fraulein
listening.
Alamenowite.
She wasn't listening.
Sounds fine.
Of course you may interrupt me.
I'm worried. I'm worried, actually. Worried. Really worried, actually. I don't know if you've been paying attention, but downstairs you can hear the distant plucking. The melancholic tune. He could maybe possibly retune.
I have been listening to the discordant sounds floating up.
No. He says they're quite marvellous, actually, but that's not the point. That's not the point I was trying... No, that is not the point I was trying to make. I do feel that... Well, it's not actually just him. I don't know if you paid attention to... And he moves his eyes from side to side. Sorry, eye. Because he's got an eye patch, moves his eye from side to side. It's not just my master, but... I don't know if you've looked, but Elric is not very happy.
She'll lean in conspiratorially as he has lowered his voice. I had not noticed. I was, I must confess, possessed with my own thoughts, and they were not as light as they usually are.
Oh, this is my point exactly. Clearly something terrible happened. I thought that we could do something to try and drag everyone together.
What did you have in mind? A party, perhaps?
No. Because
Drinking?
that would involve alcohol,
Yes.
and I don't think that's what everyone requires. That might go terribly wrong. I mean, it's a mood enhancer, I suppose. And what if it enhances the wrong mood?
I had not considered that.
And someone might say no. You want to do something that they're going to say yes to, something that they really enjoy.
What did you have in mind?
He said, well, I don't know if you remember when we did the Night of Mud.
I do. It was enjoyable.
Well, that's my point. I thought that could really... Because you sort of remember how much... Do you remember how much... Well, you remember how much Gerhardt enjoyed that? I thought that might really bring him out of his shell a little.
But do you remember how much the father berated us the next
That's
day?
why I'm talking to you. Because actually, you know, I mean, he may be a young man, but the man's... He's like this... He's rather intimidating.
He's an old soul.
Well, you get on with him so well. You and he seem to just, I don't know, connect. Maybe it's a height thing, but you and he just, you know, you get each other in a way that I don't. And I thought you beeline to him, and I'll speak to Elric. Elric really enjoyed it last time, but I'd like to make sure that he'd be happy with it. Perhaps it will help him cheer up or something.
Do you know, I can't think of a different angle to approach it with the father.
Right. Well, you do that, and
But this time, no.
No.
Yes,
no,
we're agreed?
No, absolutely no. I was thinking of something far more mundane.
Excellent.
Yes, absolutely.
I will speak with the father. Leave it with me.
Right. Let's split up.
Don't split the party.
On the same bars, they've split the party. I'll let you go first.
Alan and wife will, yep.
The good father imagines downstairs,
hop down
sort
lightly,
of.
Yeah.
prowl about, look for the father. Father! Are you there?
Yeah, I'm in here.
I wanted to speak with you. May I come in?
Of course.
Excellent. Shuts door.
There is no door.
Creates
It's
doors.
and you can slip behind some barrels, for example, of barrels, no, large bales.
We could go back to. Should we go upstairs?
Sure.
Conspiratorial.
I'm intrigued.
Fresh air on your face. You have no idea what time of day it is. It's actually kind of depressing. But you can hear.
And Midnight is that way.
Yeah, it is. Your life has changed.
Father, I do not know if you have noticed, but the mood on the barge is somewhat flat. Somber, that is a good word. I am concerned about the spirits of some of our travelling companions, in particular. Well, I do not need to tell you which ones in particular. I am sure you have noticed. The last time we were in quite a miserable mood, Lukas proposed an activity to forge companionship between the party. A storytelling activity, if you will. And I know that you had some reservations when you heard about it, but I can assure you that this time We plan for it to be very mundane, and I think it will be very good for some of the more immature members of our party to learn about consequences in a safe space, rather than on the road and in anger.
That sounds marvellous.
Lukas and I have discussed it, and he will be careful.
It will be morally instructive.
It will be morally instructive,
Then I'm on board. This sounds...
and yet uplifting.
But
As indeed everything that is morally uplifting should be.
Of course.
Compare that with the alternative of option of how to bring this up. Elric, would you like to do that sort of Night of Blood? Night of Mud thing again?
I'm in, son of a bitch.
Yes.
Let's go.
You had me at hello.
Yeah.
He goes over. Fraulein, you may. Would you like to play a game with us downstairs?
Oh, yes, of course. Are you betting money?
No.
Oh, well,
Maybe
okay.
next time.
Sure.
I could make that work. He says as he makes his way down. I could make that work.
Just invented pay to play.
I can make that work. I can do this. I could make this work. He says, right. Oh, shit, I've not spoken to Birdie. Goes back up. Birdie, hello. Excuse, I apologise, Frau Batilda, I require time. And you, she says, you can offer. Oh, right, marvellous, excellent. You don't look tired at all. You look like you're ready to go. Do something fun and exciting.
what do you want?
Wow, right.
You're obviously after something.
Do you, right,
Can Alamanaway sort of drifted? Well,
hello.
what we were thinking is we could play that game again. To cheer Gerhardt up, you have to admit that the repeated strains of the same song over and over again is becoming tedious, and we would like to break it up.
Given a choice between killing him with his own loot and playing a game, we'll choose the game first, but I'm not taking the other one off the table.
Excellent.
Everything she just said, that's actually what I was going to say.
Of course.
Right,
Of course
back
it
down.
was.
Money. Right. As he makes his way down to the hold. Ah, hello, master.
I hurt myself today. Ow, wow, ow, ow.
Master.
Oh, Lucas, yes.
Everybody has been talking, and they thought it would be lovely to get together to have ourselves another one of those games. Do you remember when we were back in Delbrenhof? We all sat down and we had that night of mud, and there was thunder, and there was lightning, and there was all sorts of fun things. And everybody thought that they'd like you to be involved because you are, after all, the centre of all of our attentions.
Well, I can't say I'm really feeling up to it, but as you put it so well, yes, I suppose I will come on. I'll play a minor part, maybe. Sure. Yes. Where are we doing this?
I was thinking you could play yourself.
Well-
Do you consider that a minor part?
No, Lucas. I don't. So,
Oh,
right.
right.
Fine. All right. 1 second.
We're all crowded around the door, man.
Yeah.
Just be like,
Alamanaway will say to Brady, I think right now it's a minor part.
Very good.
does Birdie get that?
Can I cut his string?
Literally no idea what you're saying.
Literally no idea what Alamanaway's doing.
None of us, only Gerhardt.
Yeah.
Is he digging? Is that what he's doing?
And this is
On a boat, it's a
Minor.
very bad idea, though.
And this is how the party finds itself sitting in a circle in the hold of their barge with Lukas at the top. As he goes, right, is everybody ready? Don't worry about the rules, I'll explain it as we go. He says, because today, he says, I have a very special one for you. It's called If Looks Could Thrill. And Aaron, roll the credits again!
Serious.
Serious! Roll the credits again! Hello. Right. Hello. Right. So we're going to be playing a game. This game was originally formulated by the Light College, because apparently the Light College, they think. Now, get this. I've never understood it. Perhaps one of you will understand this. But apparently, drama is one of their core subjects, more important than almost anything else. Their students, many of whom never become wizards, are very focused on drama. I don't know why. So they have formulated this game, which I know 4 of you have played before, but 2 of you most definitely haven't. So I'll quickly explain the rules. It's very, very easy. Basically, it's like acting. You play a character, and it's much easiest if, in this particular instance, if you just play yourself. But if you want to play someone different, you can. That is exciting. For those of you who've done it before, it's an option. But I recommend to keep it easy. If you're still a bit unsure, just play yourself. And you are given a scenario that you must work through. And then at the end, we look at how well we did, and we consider the consequences of our actions and whether we have successfully done it. Now, I would like to say that the last time we did this, pretty much everybody died or became fell to the dark gods or other things. It was terrifying, actually. I think it tells you a lot about the people involved at the time. But we all learned from that to ensure that that sort of thing didn't occur again. Hopefully.
That's not how I remember it.
No.
I remember us killing all the bad people. And yeah, maybe, people died in a fire somehow, but we still won.
Yes, well...
And that's what we were taught in our college, is to win. Winning is the important thing.
Winning is everything.
I'm in it.
Yes, perfect.
I did not die last time, nor did I fall.
No,
I walked away and my footsteps faded
as I recall,
into the earth.
As I recall, you spent at least half of it trying to understand what was happening. Yeah, exactly. So, right. It's quite easy. This one, he says, if looks could thrill, was actually put together by an apprentice of the Light College. It was put together, and I thought it would be quite a good one, because I played this one 5 times when we were in Altdorf University, which is where I met her. And each time we ended up with a slightly different outcome at the end. There is a good outcome, and this is where I step in. If you hit the good outcome, you get a bonus of 100 XP. That's a bonus.
Oh, little Brucey.
Oh, we love a little Brucey bonus.
But there's also bad outcomes. And there's some particularly bad outcomes, and they're subtle. You might miss them because of some of the interactions of the characters themselves. It's very easy to miss them, and the choices you make might be based upon the faces that they present. He says, but they might not be entirely what the truth entails, so to speak. And if you get those bad outcomes, then you just don't do as well. That's what the discussion at the end is all about. That is where you get a bonus of 0 XP. Lucas goes, right, so...
It's still a bonus.
This is the basics. You all have a character, and your character needs dice, as he pulls out a pile of dice and drops them in the middle. Now, obviously, the good father can't see these, so everybody, don't lie to him. We roll these dice to see how well we do, and you choose your own skills that you're good at and bad at. Everybody has 2 skills they're good at, 2 skills they're quite good at, and all the rest. And you choose through the course of the game the ones you're good at. If you're good at, 70% or less. If you're all right at, 50% or less. All the rest, 30.
So it's 1 at 70,
Yes.
2 at 50,
Yes,
and all the rest.
Yes, absolutely.
This was hard last time.
I mean, yes, 3 whole numbers.
No, it's just picking only 3 things.
Yeah, but quite. And
Could I get an extra one?
no. This was, and as I remember the quotation now. Are you ready? This one came from Elric. Ha ha, no bullshit elf. Ha ha.
Quite pithy, if I say so.
It was. I think that I may be paraphrasing heavily.
Fine.
So that's all the rules. And it is sometimes wise to choose different skills amongst you, but do be aware if you get yourself into some sort of fisticuffs, and that will be your combat skill, and you might want to save one of those if you wish to be good at it. Other than that, you all need to take a brief moment just to consider who you're going to be. It is obviously easiest to be yourself. It is, however, it is worth saying, part of the Light College's tuition that not only does this give you an opportunity to tackle situations that you may not normally encounter and thus come up with solid strategies should you ever encounter them yourself in real life, but it is also an opportunity to get empathy for other people and see what it's like to live potentially in their shoes. Now, obviously, you won't be living in their shoes, you'll be pretending, and if you're someone like the good wizard over here, you almost certainly will absolutely take the piss out of them if you're pretending to be them.
I'm also currently not wearing shoes, so
Well,
they can't wear mine.
Or alternatively, it might be easier for us to wear yours.
I mean, they're just over here.
Yes, there is different approaches. It's entirely up to yourself how you approach it, but that's pretty much it. Does anyone have any questions? Oh, well, this is so much better than last time. Thank goodness. Right. So, without any further ado, take a moment to consider your character. Is anyone not playing themselves? Oh, one. Oh, exciting.
I'll play somebody else if people want to switch.
Oh, no, I wasn't going to play one of you. I was going to play a character of my own creation.
There's always one. Just like to say, there is always one. I would suggest if it's your first time, mistress, you may, that you should probably just play yourself, because at least you understand what you should do then.
Okay.
Unless you're desperate not to.
It's okay. I can be an alternate version of myself
Oh, you can just be yourself.
who likes to blow things up.
Again, very similar to the real you men, but okay.
I shall be.
I like that. That's a good idea. An alternate version of ourselves. Excellent. I'm going to have 2 guns. All right, ready.
Gunslinger Gerhardt.
I shall be Maluvial, malevolent minstrel of Vinland. What do you think?
Why would you bother with
Seems-
making something that's so close to yourself if you're playing something different, Mum?
That is so different to me.
Stop harshing
The
her
name
mellow.
begins with an M. It's
Right.
totally
Yeah.
Right,
Fine, I
of
will
course.
just be Elemenaway.
Good, right.
Maluvian minstrel.
could you
of
be
what
Elemental
did she say?
pretending to
Midnight?
be Maluvial?
Maluvial.
Do you have a voice for Maluvial?
Of course.
Is that the voice?
Was that the voice?
Yes.
It's amazing.
Thank you.
It's very good.
Elric.
Right, are we ready?
Yes.
You
really
definitely
bad at
look
this
ready,
the
Master.
last
If I do
time.
say
Very
so
much
myself.
ready. Yes, very much.
Definitely look ready. Right, excuse me, I refer to my notes. He says, right, are we all ready? So I shall set up the scene and we can start working from there. He says, right, so you are all aboard the Trandathea. The Trandathea, that's a river barge, much like this one, actually. And it's owned by your employer. Your employer is a merchant, and his name is Rutger. Rutger. Oh, we'll go with Rutger. That was it. Rutger Router. Have we got it? Excellent. The vessel is in poor shape, kind of rickety, and is making its way. No, nothing like our barge. And it's got age-worn timbers rather than a bit buckled timbers. Its deck is stacked, absolutely stacked with stock of various kinds, and it's crewed by a Strigony crew. So they're making their way around. Many big looped earrings. Many of them with slicked down hair and tarred feet, and they're all very skilled at their job. At the back of the vessel, there is a large cabin which is walled off with a curtain. He says, yes, very good. Right, so at the front of the vessel, he says, there's an old woman who's curled over like so. and the old woman is sitting on a little stool with 3 legs with paint peeling off it, and she's occasionally rocking as she looks out across the prow into the glistening waters. Very good. Right, so that's everybody, and where you all are on top of the barge, and your employer comes striding up. Now, he's a young fellow, much younger, about your age, actually, Gerhardt.
All right.
He's got a bit of a page boy haircut. And he's like, hello, good day to you, sir, he says. Right, yeah, I am Rutger Router, he says. Part of the fun of it is, getting stuck in, you can just call me Rutger, he says. Right, delighted to have you aboard. Now, perhaps contrary to how I'm presenting him, he's a very charming fellow. He's obviously a very happy man, and when he employed you, he promised the world. Big smiles, big gregarious grin sort of thing. At our campsite, we have much work for you to do, but of course, he says, you could get yourself stuck in with any other jobs what you might find as you are getting stuck in, he says. He's very eloquent, and obviously he knows his stuff, so to speak. He then says, well, why don't you take a moment to introduce yourself so I can know who you all are a bit better? Does anybody want to reply?
Oh, this is where we talk as if...
Yeah, this is where you talk, sir.
Yes, okay,
yes,
fine.
Exactly.
Hello, everyone. I am Gerhardt. I have 2 guns. And, this is good?
Yeah, then perfect.
Right.
What do I do with my hands again?
You can do whatever you want.
Do I have to hold them like they're guns?
No, these are my guns.
No, oh, okay. I'm Elric, and I'm a big, scary wizard.
Right, well, well, I have ideas for how one could turn wizard magic into profit, he says. I have considered. I'm very glad to have you along, Elric. Not sure what I do with guns, he says, but I'm sure that will be very useful to scare off potential bandits or brigands or that might be encountered while we are making our way along this particular stretch of water.
Can we jump up a level? This is going to be confusing. Jumping up a level. Is the finger click a thing?
Which finger click?
Like that?
Fire finger.
Is that like a Warhammer? Do people know what a click is?
Click? Yeah.
Cool, because Elric
Anyone
would be
can
like,
do that.
I could light your bullets on fire.
That's... Yes.
Right, one presumes you said bullets, not buttocks?
Nope.
It depends.
Bullets?
I only heard... I wasn't sure what I heard. Bullets. Right, marvellous. Yes, perfect. That would be... that sounds like it would be a complicated thing. Maybe the skill that you'd like to take as your particular skill.
Bullet, firer.
Maluvial will wrap another scarf around her face and say in quiet tones, I am Maluvial, mysterious minstrel. That's not funny, Elric.
No, it's sort of...
I did not tease when you said your name.
It's because I don't have scarves around my face.
He was just getting involved, Mum.
Fine.
How many scarves do you have around your face?
Maluvial, or me?
Maluvial.
Well, I would... 5.
So the standard amount of... Is Maluvial cold?
Maluvial is always cold. She hails from a distant land.
Right, yes. I love it. That's a lovely detail for Maluvial, who definitely isn't you. They're marvellous. He says, it is very nice to meet you, Maluvial. He says, I am very glad that we could have an elf from a far and distant land amongst us. Hopefully your far-seeing eyes will be able to spot danger long before it arrives, although these haunted waters are very mist-laden, he says. How about yourself, blinded father?
Loophole, didn't it?
Right. It is so very good to meet you, Leopold, in it. He says,
You best call me father.
Yeah, of course, I shall call you that, father, for I am a polite man who's very charming, by the way.
And a Sigmar-fearing one at that, I hope.
Yes, he says.
I think you've lost his accent a little, Lucas.
Oh, dear.
Remember, he's a bit more common.
Right, yeah. He says,
Yar! Ahoy, matey! I am an upstanding citizen of the Empire.
Marvellous. And what is it that you do, upstanding citizen of the Empire? Upstanding citizen of the Empire.
Acquire goods on boats.
A choir. I thought you were an entire choir. For a moment there, I was confused. Acquire goods. That is good on boats. I think I see what you're saying.
Did you do that with an eye patch?
With one eye just blinked. and yourself. And he looks up. Fair maiden.
I'm Birgitte, White Wolf of Ulrich.
And what is your profession, may I ask?
Hitting stuff hard enough to split it in half.
Oh, well, I would like to say we are always on the lookout for people who are very capable of hitting stuff hard enough. Well, they are hurt.
Nice.
Right, so, very good. He says, well, with all introductions done, he says, hopefully this will be a nice journey. I'm going back to me cabin. And he goes back to his cabin. At the back, closes the curtain. As he does so, the barge master, a dark-skinned fellow with a big looped earring. So easy to get these things wrong, isn't it? He comes forward and he goes, I wouldn't be paying too much attention to him if I were you. The only reason we took this job on these haunted waters, he says, is because me good wife did die, and we are needing the coin, which is why me and me fellows agreed to take their goods over to their camp. Oh, they are building themselves a building in a cursed place, he says. Exposition.
Well, that sounds awful.
Oh, it's definitely something what shouldn't be done, he says, but we are needing the coin, isn't we?
Did your wife just die naturally, or did something kill her?
It were a tragic tale. Oh. She wandered off into the mist by herself and was taken by the beast of Orchslam.
It's terrible.
At least that's what me mother says. And he looks out towards the front of the boat with the old woman's creaking backwards and forwards like this.
And I'm guessing that we're going to, did you say Orchslam?
No, we wouldn't be going to them marshes.
Oh.
No, they is haunted. That is where the mists are the thickest.
Right.
I also lost my wife in the mists of Orchslam at one point as well. So I understand your...
Tears spring from his eyes. Oh, my man, he says. Hugs you.
Right.
Very good, master.
Yes.
Yes, very good. Very personable.
Mix it up.
Yeah, very good.
Yes.
And as you say that, the curtain that breaks you from the rest of the hold pushes back, and Blothilda sticks her head round and goes, what the hell's is going on? I can hear you echoing out across the river. Oh, we're just playing a game. Just playing a game.
No, we're training.
We're training. Right, well, I'll take me hammock upstairs. Bloody hells. Keep it down a bit! Right,
Pack of staff.
don't be an arse, he says. You don't need to be an arse. I mean... Sorry.
Don't be a flaming arse.
Right, so that was the barge master. He says, "My name is Reiko." He says, and nods. But I had best be getting back to doing the barge. Would anyone like to help me and me crew get the barge in order? He smiles, looking around.
Maluvial would not lower herself to do such a thing, so she will remain perching.
Oh, right. Is she perching?
Yes.
Where is she perching, Ma?
On something on the barge. Maybe a winch.
Oh, right. She hangs from the winch. Scanning, I presume, across the marsh?
Exactly.
Well, not the marsh, the mist. Yes, very good. Yes, what is it that you are doing, Mr. Shume?
I will help.
What, with the perching?
No. No, the sailing part.
Oh, right. He says, thank you very much. Do you have any skill in this? Are you taking this as one of your skills?
Yes, I am.
Is it your best, your in-betweenest, or is it, well, just not one of your skills? What would you like?
In between.
Do your roll. And are you successful?
Yes. I do.
She busies around the barge as if it's her second home. She manages to not say R too much. But there is most definitely a swash to her buckle as she makes her way around the vessel. All the other crew are very impressed with how she does. They say. Very good. Be careful, though, say some of the crew. Don't be tipping over the edge. These waters are cursed.
Also, I can't swim.
You can also... Oh, then be very careful with your climbing up the ropes. Good tradeswoman.
Aye.
Is anyone else doing anything else while this is transpiring as she busies around?
I will lend my strength.
Oh, are you going to help as well?
Yes.
Marvellous. Do you have any skill in...
I will make it one of my lower skills.
As in the lowest or the 50? The 50 or the 70 or the lowest?
Is it 30? Is there?
30, yeah.
I shall just make it to 30.
Definitely not accurate because you're clearly skilled at bargemanship. So interesting. You should
But
play it down a little,
I'm not
master.
I'm not playing me.
Yeah, well, exactly. Well, let's roll to see how well you do at this.
To be fair, Matilda would probably say that's how I'm rolling at the moment. No, I'm doing very badly.
She manages to trip over some ropes, lands flat on her face at one point to be caught by one of the burly fellows who says, "You best look after yourself, mistress. Those ropes can be dangerous." And helps you up like so. They can get onto your feet with ease. And as that happens, bang, crash, wallop!
Oh.
Thunder!
The barge strikes something. The entire barge shakes! Oh, it's a disaster!
Oh.
Everybody needs to do themselves a test for how agile they are, and you can decide whether this is one of your skills or not. And if it isn't, you're rolling at 30%.
Ooh.
Hey, did you fall over?
Yes.
Did you tumble?
Elric has 6 fails.
Oh, nicely done.
99.
Marvellous, love it. This is an in-game roll though, so you can't fumble. It's not a game roll, it's an in-game roll.
It's a game and a game roll.
But we're still rolling under our skill.
No, it's whatever skills you've got for your characters.
So
So it's 30.
fails.
It's not this.
What
It's
kind
not the
of-
real barge
what-
after all that said something.
What
It's
kind
the
of skill?
in-game barge.
What kind of skill would it be? Agility?
Yes.
Acrobatics?
Yes.
Athletics? I will take it as one of my medium skills.
Then you may roll at 50.
For
Post-roll.
Maluvial. No, I was going to, because Maluvial is somewhat of an acrobat.
Is she?
Yes.
Right, so did you pass?
Yes.
As Maluvial acrobatically cartwheels her way by, sliding alongside her, flat on her face, is Elric. His face, pardon me. As his chin smacks against one of the larger boxes at the side. Did you pass? She, who is swinging, definitely not in a piratical fashion, accidentally lets go at the strike and flies across the deck and smacks hard into one of the boxes, sliding down with a shock loop upon her face. Father, did you do well? Did you?
I passed.
You passed! You stoically stand there, showing the rest of these silly fools exactly how they should handle a crash. While meanwhile, how did you do?
6 fails.
Oh dear, too busy paying attention to your guns, you forget that you can use your hands to hold on to something, and you swipe at the rail, don't grab onto it, and fall flat on your face. Oh. Quite the sight to be seen. And how did you do?
6 fails as well.
As she tumbles over you and rolls along the barge. Meanwhile, at the front of the barge, the old lady, who is tottering backwards and forwards, flies over the edge.
Oh no.
Oh no.
You hear her saying, "Not into the cursed warp!" As she falls in, everybody who passed is allowed to take an action. Those of you who did not pass cannot, because you're too busy rubbing at your wounds or perhaps rolling around on the floor. So which amongst you passed?
Maluvial passed.
Let us go to the father first.
So she's in the water.
She has fallen into the water at the front.
Can I
The prow.
throw like some rope to her?
Of course, there's rope all over the place. Mistress Yume tripped over it multiple times.
Hopefully one that's maybe tied to the boat.
That is a very good idea. You reach down and toss it in. How good are you at throwing?
Not great, I'm blind.
I'm going to say that you only have a 10% chance of throwing it in the right direction.
Can I assist him?
You may be his eyes.
I will be
He
Maluvio.
said I was blind.
No, you can be anything.
It could be
you
a
want. He's got
fake
guns.
blindfold.
Yeah, but he told me I was blind when he spoke to me, so I must be blind.
Maluvio will call out, I will be your eyes, father, and guide your hand.
Excellent. You can take the full 30.
What?
You launch the rope outwards, and the rope smacks her right on the back of the head. Boom, boom, boom. She says, "It was a perfect strike. You could not have done better.
I was aiming just in front.
Oh, right. Well, it lands in front, and the rope
The goal
sticks
being
across her head.
to rescue her rather than to kill her.
That seems wise. So the rope flies across her and lands in front of her, and then lands upon her head, and she straddles up to try and get it. But she is just an old lady, doesn't really understand exactly how to do the swimming thing. I'm going to roll some dice for her. Oh dear.
Can we take a moment to address prejudice? Yeah. She's just an old lady. Lucas, I'm very disappointed in your choice of words there.
You haven't seen her roll. She's going down. As she little hands, scrawny hands with long fingernails, sit there
How
plunging
far
out.
is it between the side of the boat and the water?
Well, I think at this moment, as we move into the next round, when we can all act, and now everyone else can get up and do whatever they wish to do, as we move into the next round, you can decide whether you are very good at perception, the ability to see. How is your skill at this, Maluvial?
Maluvial is
Maluvial.
not as good as me, so she will take it as one of her middle skills.
Right, yes, of course. Not as good as you, Mum. So, do you roll?
Oh, no, I failed.
So you don't notice the terrible creature out there that is thinking of eating the poor old woman. So what is your action? You're going to jump in?
No. Maluvial will grab a rope that is also tied on and will jump in holding onto the rope in an attempt to grab the lady.
I should like a
holding the
second.
Could she not use the rope that's already there?
2 ropes.
Yes?
Yes.
Well,
it's already taken you right there.
Well done, Father. A good application of thought there. So you're going to go down that rope. How good are you at climbing?
Hang on, let me just calculate what
can I-
I'm
is
good at.
part-
Can I use my acrobatics for this?
I was going to say the same thing. Is part of this not to solve problems
It is.
creatively? Yeah.
Yeah. So, of course, if you wish to do so,
I shall.
that will change how you describe yourself as you're making your way down the rope. Badly.
No, I rolled 57.
Oh, no!
50.
As you...
Is there any way that I can help her because I'm holding the rope?
You might need to. What are you doing?
I am an excellent swimmer.
Oh, right. So, you're an excellent swimmer. Is this your primary skill?
No, it's one of my middle ones.
So, do you want to jump in? Dive! 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 Yes, yes.
Swimmer,
3 successes.
You jump in. No successes. It's just yes or no.
Yes.
You dive in with a mighty splash and swim your way over. Do yourself a perception test as well. What sort of skill is this for you?
It's also a middling skill.
You only have 2 middling skills, remember?
That's pass.
Excellent. You see ahead a gaping maw of a stir pike, a terrible creature of the rivers. A stir pike can grow up to 20 feet in length, a truly terrible predator. It's the worst option you could possibly have. Fortunately, this is a rather small version of one. It is only 10 foot long, certainly capable, though, of eating you.
Can I stab it?
Well, it's currently over there, stir-piking its way towards the poor woman who is desperately scrabbling, possibly drowning. Master, what would you like to do?
Well, I was thinking, so alternate Gerhardt. We'll call him Alt-Hart. Alt-Hart. Yes? So
How about Verholt?
Verholt? No, I've used that. That'll be confusing. Gerhardt. Gerhardt shall be my
Gerhardt.
name. Yes, yes, very much so.
Gerholt, yes. Right.
It sort of occurred to me, because we didn't do this last time.
Yes.
But actually, if we could be anyone, I am now a dwarf.
You would have to have introduced yourself as that. You've
I
already
cannot do
introduced
that.
yourself as.
Well, you never assumed, never asked. You just said you had guns. Dwarfs have
I
guns.
suppose if you wish to be a
Could I
dwarf, called
Gerhardt.
Gerhardt the dwarf, of course.
Yes.
yes. By your beard.
Yes. Oh, yes, I have a fantastic beard.
Yes.
Of course I do.
Yes, indeed.
Yes. I talk about my beard.
Yes, of course, that's what you do. You stand there and you tell everyone about your glorious beard. Yes, I love it. Father, she is struggling as she plunges her way down towards, clearly quite excited to get hold of the old woman who is... but she's not going to make it. She looks like she slipped. Oh no, there's some weed, some actual wet weed sitting on the rope. Her hand slips. Oh, her face looks panicked. What do you do?
Well, I mean, is she within range that I can try and capture?
I think so. We could say this is just your general combat, your ability to put your hand where you want, or bosh things type skill.
I'm very good at that.
Oh, well, then go for it, Father.
I'm not that good.
As you strike forward with your fist, she clearly thinks that she can do it herself. Her arrogance knows no bounds. She purposely pulls her hand away. She won't be rescued by some mere father and falls off the rope into the drink. Oh dear. There's now multiple bubbles going up beside the barge as the barge itself veers slightly to the side. Right, it's you, Yume. What are you doing? That is very exciting.
Yume will have stood up on some barrels of some sort.
Right, yes.
Yes,
Exciting.
and has taken out her sword and
Yes!
pointed it at the stirpike and gone, "You foul beast, we meet again."
Oh my! How exciting!
Your nemesis. I like it.
And what are we going to do? Are we going to swing in?
Is there a rope handy? Is that how that works?
Everywhere.
Let's say yes, because
Yes.
that's very exciting. Well, so, a rope. Are you going to swing over and then try to dive down onto the stirpike?
I will try. I can't swim, so I will.
That would stymie that particular plan.
But can you ride a stirpike?
What
Could that be your skill?
You could land on it perfectly, and then grab on and steer that stirpike. It'd be a steer pike. Thank you, Father. I was quite happy with that one, if I do say so myself. So what do you think you would like to do?
What's his character back?
And she will try to corral the crew around.
Oh, very good. So this is going to be some sort of talking skill.
Yes.
Yes, a leadership skill.
Yes.
Are you good at this?
Yeah, almost as if she had some kind of past.
I love
As
it.
a pirate captain.
Oh,
No, I'm independent merchant.
independent merchant captain.
Upstanding citizen.
Acquisition of materials and the like.
Privateer at worst.
So do your test then. Let us see if we succeed. Do the crew come to your particular call?
They do.
Excellent. So the crew start rallying round. Oh, yes, well, they say, oh, we will help her and we'll see what we can do. Oh no, she has fallen off, says one of them. I will try. Puts a knife into his teeth. Pulls off his top and dives in like the hero that he is. As the barge master says, nice one. Takes out a knife and does the same and dives in as well. There is an elf to rescue.
And an old lady.
I'll
It's
get the
a-
old lady, it's fine.
His literal mother.
Elric will stand back and put one foot on the side of the boat, because that's
Yes,
what he was
yes.
doing before the thing hit it.
Right, yes, of course.
And he will clear his throat and begin to sing.
I love it.
And he will attempt to cast a spell to gather the people in the water and bring them back to the boat.
Some sort of grabby spell where they reaches in.
Yeah, I'm sure they can do it.
Oh, I am certain, sir. You're a wizard of some skill. Is this one of your primary
This is
skills?
definitely one of my
Right.
best skills.
Well, let us see how you do.
It can't go wrong.
Well,
Like, it
let's
just
see.
doesn't happen. Oh, yeah, that worked.
Marvelous. So as you do that, you pick up. Let us see.
So, Lucas, would you like me to sing?
Yes, if you wish to. Yes,
Everyone's shaking their head, so I probably shouldn't. and Brutilda, whatever her name is.
Oh,
She was moaning about the stick. So.
Yeah, that is fair. Well, let us see how many you rescue. Roll one of these dice, and that is how many you can grab out the water.
5.
Oh, that is marvellous! We can pick up the elf by the
The elf's probably
foot.
fine. Elves are fine. They land on their feet. It's fine.
Oh, perfect. Well, that being the case, we
got
can
an
pick
old
up the
lady.
crew member who jump in.
Crew member.
Yes.
Barge master.
Yes.
I've still got spares.
So you could rescue Maluvial.
Oh, is Birdie in the... Oh, I'll get Birdie. Yeah, for
Birdie,
sure.
that leaves one left. Maybe you should grab the stirpike.
Could be a trophy.
Ah.
Yeah. Maluvial? What do you think? You grand?
Maluvial cannot speak because water is flooding into her throat.
Oh, probably
She
all them
cannot
scarves
hear
are weighing
you.
you down.
She cannot hear you. She cannot speak. She is desperately hoping for someone to rescue her.
Father, is this the right thing to do?
Rescuing her. Yes.
Well, yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I'll pick up the elf as well.
I mean, marvellous. They get picked up by your magical fingers, and they are pulled over and dropped down onto the boat.
Softly.
Absolutely. The old woman with her skirts hanging around in all sorts of places says, "The cursed waters," she says, "though we were lucky that the beast did not take us."
You're very welcome, madam.
She coughs. As the barge master says, "Well, what did happen?" He says, "I was diving in." He flexes his broad muscles, just like me. He says, quite the hairy chest, yes, of course, and large, muscles. Very good. As he flexes again, and then says, "Well, fortunately for us, the ship didn't get too damaged by running aground and whatnot." Then suddenly, the entire barge collapses.
Oh no.
All of the stock falls down into the drink. You all fall down into the drink as well. It's not so deep here, though, because it's right by a sandbar. It's much deeper on the other side. So you all find yourself up to your middles in the water. However, the barge master's panicking. "The stock," he says, "it is how we will get paid."
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, yes, of course.
Is the sandbar of variable depth?
Oh, I think so, yes.
Okay. Just it would have to be for us all to be up to our middles.
That's a very fair point. Very fair. It just happens to be that you are all caught up.
Since I believe Gerhardt's middle, maybe
Gerhardt's
somewhere
middle
around my
down-
shin.
That's fair. No, he is a dwarf. It's right up to his eyes.
That is okay,
beard.
but my guns are...
Your guns are above the water. You'll need to do yourself one of those agility tests, or acrobatics if you think you have an acrobatic dwarf, or perhaps you just have a very,
No, I like the way you described that man with the hairy chest and
Yes.
being very jacked.
Yes.
So I am now also have hairy chest
Oh,
and very jacked.
excellent. I like that. Perfect, Master.
As well. What am I doing agility?
I'm learning a lot about both of them today.
Success. No, sorry.
Perhaps more than we ever
No.
wanted to.
6 fails.
No numbers, it's just pass or fail.
Oh, fail then.
As your guns go under. Oh no, Master, your guns have got wet.
I've understood a lot now. Oh no! What do I do?
You're going to have to do something about getting new powder.
Oh no, Lucas, that seems dull. Can I not just have them normal? Can they just be normal
No,
afterwards?
you got them wet.
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm sure.
What about if I...
when one finds themselves caught up in a bit of trouble, one needs to find exciting and interesting ways around that trouble.
Okay.
Unfortunately, you have, in this case, got your powder wet.
Right.
You should have kept that dry.
I probably should have.
Famously so.
Or you could have had magic guns.
For a moment,
You can have magic guns.
Could have said it.
I could have said it.
for a moment, as Maluvial falls, her scarves drop and her face twists into a cruel, angry look.
Oh dear.
But then she replaces it, hopefully before anyone has seen.
Oh right.
Do we have to check to see if we've seen your face?
You can do your perception test if you wish to see if you spot her cruel look.
No. Question.
Yes.
88 here.
Nope.
No,
Don't worry
no
about it. Not in game.
Good. Excellent.
There's definitely an effect.
Yeah.
As a good and upstanding Sigmarite, can I help the dwarf and ensure that his, nose at least is above the water?
Yeah, perhaps put your hands under his oxters and lift him up.
Well, just gently buoy him. I don't know that I'm
If you
strong
wish to
enough
gently
lift
buoy
him.
him, that's fine. You can gently buoy the dwarf.
There's a you in that word.
Right.
Lucas, as I'm sure you're aware.
Yes, of course. No, I definitely didn't think of anything untoward. And you passed as well. You saw that vicious look that came from the elf.
This Yume is into mean ladies. So
Are you sidling up beside her? You have to be very careful because, as it turns out, she's in a big dip, and her middle, meaning that as you dove down into that, it's almost up to your chin.
I'm walking very confidently as the water slowly rises.
Rutger Router, he was the merchant, goes, "Oh no, my all of our stock, what we are employed to get to the camp, we will need to grab it. Everybody, quick, try to grab the stock." The big, huge barrels and boxes are there that you're reliant on getting your money on for delivering. What are you going to do?
I will assist, of course.
So, stride over there. Swimming would help, or just being very strong.
I can swim. So.
You could, right, then you may do your swim test. Anyone else going in to help?
I will cast some magic and.
Oh, you've got your grippy spell.
What I can.
So you do your grippy spell. It needs to have a proper name. What do you think you should call it? Elric.
Naming isn't my strong point.
Pickup. Call it pickup.
No, like Feluvial's hand.
Feluvial's hand. Oh, I love it. That is marvelous.
Alamanowite, right? So 1 level up. Alamanowite literally just looks at him.
I really like this game.
Feluvial.
Yeah.
Not Maluvial.
Have you never heard of Feluvial? No, you haven't.
Yes, I have,
big
Elric.
thing.
Feluvial
It means a
was
lot
an
to us
elf.
Talabeckers.
Feluvial
So
was an elf in Nuln 30 years ago.
Anyway, it's totally fine because I've just got. Hold on, should I do the dice for the.
Yes, how many you gather?
7.
Oh, very good, sir. And 7 of them are wobblingly lifted up by his extraordinary magic. Feluvial will be pleased.
And I'm just singing the word Feluvial over and over, increasingly higher pitched. Until I get all 7 in.
Absolutely.
And Maluvial will stop.
That name sounds like the spell.
That is. Why are you saying my sister's name?
Oh, is that your sister? Oh.
Feluvial, yes.
It could be a different Feluvial.
So clearly you're not helping with the stock. You are. How did you do?
I'm swimming.
So you grab one of them. Very good. How about yourself, sir? Are you helping?
Oh yes, as I've discussed, I am very jacked.
Excellent. So that could be one of your main skills, your
It's not
strength.
my, not my main one. My main one was my guns.
Well, you
but
get
I
2
am-
main ones.
You
You
haven't
can choose
decided-
2.
you
You can
haven't
have
shot
guns
your
and
budget.
jacked.
No, my tippy top one is my guns.
Yes, and you have 2 tippy top
I've got
ones.
2 tippy top
Yes.
ones. I thought
Like
we only
we're
had
not
1
grooming?
tippy top.
2
one.
tippy
we
top
have-
and 2
For the
middles.
beard.
Oh, we have 2 tippy tops.
Okay.
I'll 2 top,
Yeah.
2 mids, the rest crap.
Then I shall also be tippy top strong as well.
Excellent. So do yourself a jacked test, sir. That would be marvellous.
Shit.
You make your way over and unfortunately choose the heaviest of all of the large crates as you sit there and struggle with it. Like so. Now this is where we say, if you wish, you can use fortune points in your rolls from this point onwards, including that roll if you wish. As the die potentially tips over 1 if you wish to re-roll it.
No, I'm okay. Thank you.
That sounds good. As you struggle with it and get nowhere. How about yourself, good father?
Well, I think, bearing in mind there was the old woman who couldn't really swim, how close are we to the shore from this sandbank?
You're relatively close. It's not too far away. It's just over
How
there.
deep is the water in between?
It's difficult to tell in this mistiness.
Well,
There could be another one of those up-down moments.
With my quarterstaff,
Very good, sir.
I'll attempt to find a safe route to the shore so that we can all go that way.
Marvellous. And then perhaps lead the old lady
the old
with you.
lady.
Excellent.
Yeah.
She looks up at you. Thank you, kind father. She says, as you help her through, she says, did you get one? I can't recall.
You will look for the most impressive looking box that is the lightest.
And how can one tell it's the lightest simply by looking, Mom?
The way it's floating.
or not. Very good. I like it. So that one over there, assuming you pass yourself a perception test.
I was thinking appraisal.
Appraisal. Oh, I like that. Yes, very good. That is perfect for you, Mom. Do your appraisal test.
Is that because,
yes.
Is that because you are a merchant?
Yes.
You make your way over, you appraise the artifact. Yes, this crate is perfect for you. And you lift it up and carry it upon your head like it was made of, I don't know, a cloud.
Like it was made of lead.
As you may walk,
strong you appear.
you know, sideways so Maluvial can see her.
Just look how impressively strong she is, Maluvial. Fluvial. Which one is it?
I am Maluvial.
Maluvial. Yes, that one. Your sister's Maluvial.
No, Maluvial's sister is Fluvial, an elf from Nome.
Right, so you,
But
I can see
am
her.
playing Maluvial.
Yeah, yes,
A cruel,
you can see
angry
her.
look upon her face again, which lifts as she spies the small human with a box on her head.
She never said she was human.
Oh.
Oh, that's true.
But what else could I be?
Yeah, she'd be drowning by now. No more of this. You're definitely a human.
Could she be an especially
dwarf.
buoyant halfling?
So, right. So you've already lifted up 7.
Just 7.
8, 9. Any more?
I believe I am drowning.
Right. Let us see if one of the good fellows can help you. One of them comes over and says, "Worry not, Herr Dwarf," and helps you up as well. "I'll help you along with the priest."
Excellent.
Is he picking him up by the armpits?
And the chest.
Possibly this. Dripping
Sure.
guns.
No, you probably want that
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 way.
way. To let
Oh,
it
let
water
it
around.
drip out.
Yeah.
Yeah, quite. With bits of gunpowder and shot
That's
falling
fine.
out. Yeah, you get for having them loaded, I suppose. Maybe you've got yourself some waterproof ammunition.
undoubtedly.
In that. So maybe if you let it dry out, you'll still be able to use it.
I'll clean them out once you get onto land, and they'll be
Excellent.
usable
That would
again.
be perfect.
Yes, it'll be fine.
Eventually, everybody makes their way over onto the shore at the side. Mist is everywhere. You can barely see anything from, well, depending upon your height, just to be correct, from about 3 foot downwards, which means that the poor dwarf's constantly looking out above the mist. Almost half the stock has gone down over there.
Dwarfs aren't that short, Lucas.
Well, this one's quite short. And, you know, it's
Is the mist
quite
also
short.
a variable height?
There's no need to complicate affairs too much here.
I would like to nominate one of my tippy toppy skills
Yes.
to be lore of the supernatural.
Lord. Yes, I like that.
And I would like to assess whether this mist seems unnatural in nature as it hangs so low and
Why don't you do yourself one of those
Undulate.
taste tests?
yes, I succeeded.
Marvellous. Well, it does seem to be especially thick and hangy. It just sort of sits there and fingers around between the branches over there by the forest. As the barge master says, "Well, it looks like we're going to have lost some of that of your cargo." And the merchant then comes over and says, "Oh no, whoa! What am I going to say to my partners back at where we are building our place?" He says, we have got ourselves a lot of problem here. Yes, we do. He's a very charming man. What are we is there any way we can rescue any more of these crates? He says, "Well, I'll put up an extra 2 shillings for each crate you manage to pull out from the water." He says, "If you can get any more out."
I will help with that.
Did anyone
Maluvial
see
will
any of
say,
the crew even try and get them? Was it all of us?
Maluvial will say, I do not think
Label.
we should linger long in this mist. It has a foul stench and a unnatural feeling about it.
Right, marvellous. How did you do?
I passed.
Oh, she comes out with another one. "Money," she says, and plops it right down. Yes, I've rescued one of those.
I'm just going to keep doing this while these guys are
How about yourself, good sir? Are you drying your guns instead?
I will be drying my guns, and I will announce, these mists remind me of the mists when I lost my sister, who is also called Fluvial.
Right. Very good, sir.
Fluvial the dwarf.
Yes.
I know
That
that
is-
one. That's a tale of the ages.
Right. Yes, very good. How about you, Father?
Maluvial will not be as insulted as an elf would usually be.
It's just a game.
If we're being told by the good elf that this mist is unnatural, then I think everyone is in need of an uplifting psalm. So I think perhaps I shall intone some kind of prayer to Sigmar to watch over us.
Assign that to one of your. This is obviously going to be your priest skill.
It'll be one of my tippy toppies, I guess.
Yes. So you better see how good a priest we are today.
I'm a good priest.
So they're all very impressed by your good priesting, as you good priest one of your psalms, and everybody listens and is very impressed. The Strigany who are with you all gather round, forgetting about all the boxes, and they're just listening to you. Yes, very good, sir.
That's fine. I'll just get the stuff.
Do yourself another test that floats off. How about yourself? You've managed to bring back that very light box and placed it down amongst the rest.
Are there maybe nets or ropes floating about?
Oh, there's all sorts of detritus that have been left by this poor collapsed barge.
Maybe I'll look for something like that would help gather more things at once.
Excellent. Well, how about you do yourself one of those perception tests? In your case, acquisition test, was it?
Appraise.
Appraise test, that's it. We get there. How do you do?
I passed.
Perfect! You gather yourself up and you're pulling in 3 of them by yourself. Very impressive. As you pull that up onto the side of the river.
Also, I didn't realize we could change our names, and I'm a little bit jealous. So from now on, I am Plume.
Plume. Nom de. Yes. Elric, what would you like to do?
He will have put one foot on one of the crates that he rescued.
Yes, very good.
And then he will be just staring out into the sea.
Yes.
Watching for
it's a
another
river.
stir into the sea. I believe you said it was sea.
It's definitely a river.
I mean, if he looks far enough,
yeah,
then eventually he'll see a sea.
Yeah.
I mean, if he looks far enough, he'll hit the mountains because...
And beyond the mountains?
This particular... wow.
You see, my elf eyes can see...
My point is, eventually there'll be a sea in that... Whatever direction you look,
right,
eventually there'll be a sea.
Yeah, I'm just watching for... more stirpikes coming.
Yeah, that makes sense. Would you do yourself one of those perception tests?
I suppose it's all right for me. No.
No. Marvellous.
But I look really cool.
Could I have a perception test from you as you move in for your 3rd crate?
Oh, just failed.
What about...
A big snapping snap comes from a stirpike that tries to bite you from the side.
Can I
Punch
bite
it,
back?
birdie.
If you wish to use your combat skill, you can punch it back.
And I will have that as one of my tippy-toppy skills.
Right.
Just failed.
You punch it on the nose, but it opens its mouth and its hand comes out and cuts and bites, taking off your forearm completely. Blood spurts all over the place into the water. The stirpike, exceedingly pleased with this, floats off. Now I don't know if they smile, but I'm quite convinced this one's smiling because it's just got itself a nice arm to eat. As it goes off. And you've lost the forefront of your arm. What are you going to do about this big bloody? Oh no! You suddenly feel a bit lightheaded from loss of arm.
Is it the whole arm or is it just a chunk?
It's about this much. It's from about here.
So she's lost the whole thing. No hand anymore.
No hand. No. That's
Oh,
arm.
God.
Hand's gone. Arm from the elbow downwards, just gone.
Squirt.
Father,
Squirt.
are you skilled in the arts of
Squirt.
healing? Says Maluvian.
I could call upon Sigmar to perhaps try and help her.
This is where you might want to consider an endurance test. How tough you are.
I'm not. That's fine.
Yay.
Yes.
You're fine. As
Tough enough to do
you
it.
can easily stomp over to the priest and thrust forward your terribly broken...
Stomp.
Yes, what are you doing?
Well, I'm going to attempt to use my priesting to...
Marvellous!
Sigmar to heal
Call
this
it down and
terrible
try to
wound.
do it.
Yeah.
It is as if the gods themselves are with you as suddenly a golden light spreads around and it seals off the end of your paw. You are now without you're now without your entire right arm. Are you right? handed?
I don't know. No, I'm left-handed.
So
I
why
th-
did you punch with the right
I
hand?
thought you were ambidextrous, Birdie. I
Yes.
distinctly remember you telling us that
I
earlier.
don't think she knows what that means. So
But
perhaps...
The reason she would have punched with her offhand is because her main hand, her left hand, was carrying a box.
Oh, I like that. Very good. So you are now down one arm.
Half an arm.
That's
Thank
fair.
you.
Now, if we were discussing what we were talking about earlier about there being a winner, it's not her.
Wait, but
Obviously.
But
Plume will take out a hook.
a hook.
A normal, everyday item of an upstanding citizen of the Empire.
Birdie has one.
Gar.
Point made.
Are you going to attach it?
Yes.
And in no time at all, you have yourself a hook fashioned to the end of your arm.
Does it still hurt? Is it still sore?
I don't
Because
know.
I've got a spell that can help with pain.
Does it still hurt? Because Sigmar healing, pretty good.
I don't know. It is quite beyond my province. Let's say that it is fine. But you could still do yours if you wish.
I'll hold off for
I
another
appreciate
time.
the concern.
So we have ourselves.
Meluvial is surveying, not the river, but beyond into the mist, looking for anything.
It's all forests.
Looking for anything that may creep out of the forest, while others are occupied with the waters, still and deep though they
So
are.
let us just take a moment to reappraise where we are. We have managed to gather ourselves about 2/3 of the stock onto the side of the riverbank. However, it's obviously far too much for everyone to take. So several of the Strigony decide that they'll stay behind and look after it while you all make your way to the camp, possibly taking some of them with you on like small makeshift litters. The camp isn't too far. You were supposed to barge all the way there, but obviously you can't do that now because it's broken.
Because that would be rude.
Oh, right. Yes,
very good.
That's very good. Yes, very, very good one, he says. And then Lukas pulls himself up straighter. We now have the journey across the forest towards the encampment. Most of the Strigony stay behind. The barge master is coming, as is the merchant. I trust you're all going as well. One of the most important rules whenever you're playing a game like this is if you're to use this as an object lesson for how you can work together is that you always stick together. Even when it looks like it's going to be better to split apart, you stick together. Very important rule.
We learned that last time, remember, when someone went into the barn and was attacked by that spider boy.
baby.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
It was a good lesson, Lucas.
Yeah, indeed. And
I think it turned out quite positively, actually, in the end.
Your hair turned pink.
It was green, actually. Yes.
That's definitely not positive, my lord.
I think the better thing was when you jumped into the bucket of cold water.
Mutation is not a thing to be
No.
laughed
It
off.
could have been worse. You weren't there anyway, whatever.
You were up in your room,
Praying.
praying.
Oh, right, yes, I forgot about that joke.
We should bring that one back.
It'll be a stain on all your souls. No.
There's certainly stains.
Lucas, I'm not carrying those crates. Someone else is taking those.
The crates are staying behind.
Oh,
Mostly.
okay, fine. Yeah.
Except for the barge master will pull a litter.
You still
with some of them.
walk like this around.
Oh, very good, sir.
Very arc.
I'd just like to remind you, Lucas, that well, while I am blind, I am capable of finding you and throwing you overboard. Just
Right, sir.
as a reminder.
Right. Jokes are bad. I'm sorry for being humorless, sir.
Somebody's got his grumpy
Humor
robes
film.
on today.
Not humorless. Whatever it may be. Right, so where were we? Oh, yes, we're about to make our way across the forest. Right. The happy-go-lucky merchant is at the front, and he says, I am sure this is going to be absolutely fine and nothing will go wrong at all. He says, especially with strong and stoic people like yourselves to look after us as we make our way over. I am very glad that I did employ you. So how many extras did you get on top of all the others?
Meluvial did not
3?
say anything.
Did you get 3?
You got
Extra
3.
one.
I got an extra 1.
So that's
What are we talking about?
4.
We were at 10 before you went back in, so we have to be at least at 11, yeah.
Yeah.
Goes, right, well, we will make sure that you are given an extra 4, 5, 6, 8 shillings each. He says,
Very kind.
unfortunately, I am not in a position where what I can give it to you myself, he says, because the money is all at the camp. It is held, he says, in a big chest. I've got one key of it, and the other key is held by my partner.
Yeah. And you know what? You seem like you'll always be around and totally trustworthy, so don't have to say any more. Fine.
That is very good.
A man's word is his bond. A promise given is a promise kept.
Anyone's word is their bond. It doesn't have to be a man, just saying.
And Lucas knows a thing or two about deferred payment, after all, so...
Why? Oh, yes, of course. I'm sorry, I was slow.
We're up a level.
Not long now, though, Lucas. Not
It's
long
all right
now.
to make jokes at me, but not at you, sir. I absolutely understand, Father. No, I understand.
It was better retaliation than throwing you overboard, I thought.
I agree. Absolutely. I think that is far better retaliation. So, is there any particular thing you'll be doing as you make your way through these spooky, haunted, misty woods?
Lucas, is it possible that
Yes.
out of all of the goods and everything that was being carried,
Yes.
that one of the goods may have been a small but portable sort of cannon?
Sadly, no. No. They're building a watermill.
Right.
It doesn't really require a cannon.
Probably not, no. That's
No,
fair enough.
No,
Okay.
at all.
Unless
No
you were
worries.
carrying a cannon yourself.
I don't think so.
No, probably not.
No, it's
No.
they're
Worth a
a bit
try.
small. Yes.
Or maybe like a bag of rice to dry out your gun.
Oh, no, they're dry.
Oh, okay.
No,
That was-
they're not.
No,
You
they're
missed.
dry. They're probably dry.
They're not, sir. Not
No,
yet.
they're-
You'll need a fire.
They probably could be dry, though.
You'll need a fire.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Or a bag of rice.
Well, believe it or not,
Yes.
I know a spell.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, it's called Elric's Heart,
Oh.
and it will heat and dry out your gun.
Oh,
Now, it might set them on fire.
that's fine. I've got more.
I should then if
It barely ever happens.
you pass your spell, it'll be fine. If you
course.
don't,
Not even gonna look. I just want to fail.
Just gonna
you
give
just
them-
keep them right there.
I'm just going to put them on the floor.
No. Just,
Yeah.
It only
just
works
gonna
if you've got contact with
back
them.
away.
Oh, right, no, I need to hold them? Okay, I'll
You need to
hold
hold
them.
them.
Do I need to hold them close to my face? Away from my face.
It's all gone horribly wrong.
Are you sure?
Yes. Oh, I know. I've got fortune.
Yes, you do. You can reroll. Oh.
Okay, we're fine.
As the die sits on 80, then clips over to 60 or whatever it happens to be.
It was 80.
wow.
Not 60.
It's gone to 50.
Oh, I was close. In terms of, you feel heat spread through your hands like it's a summer day in your palms. Steam rises. Your guns are dry, sir.
Ah, super. Thank you very much.
The only thing is, I hope we don't have to be quiet because that was quite a loud spell because I have to sing.
No, that's fair enough.
And did he just sing Elric's Heart over and over again? Right.
Believe it or not, in increasingly higher pitches the whole way.
Could you give us a demonstration of what that might sound like, Eric?
Exactly as a choir would sound.
Yeah, I wouldn't like to do it again, but it hurts the throat.
Fair enough.
So we make our way through the forest. As I say, is there any particular precautions that you take?
I would like to have my sword in one hand and practice swishing my new hook in the other. Ready.
Very good.
That's what I'm practicing, just in case.
Anyone else with any particular
There's a fly in your ear.
Well, I think if she's going to be waving a hook around, I'll also have my hammer and shield out. The shield very much pointed towards the hook.
I shall stand next to the barge master.
Barge master nods down towards you and says, if you could help pull these, he says, it'll be a proper help.
No, I probably can't realistically because I've got, both hands full at this moment in time.
Strong though.
Have you considered maybe using one of your holsters?
Well,
Two guns in them.
Says,
there's 2 guns there are more guns in them, unfortunately. It's fine.
You're such a card.
Got the old bandolier, the cross-chest bandolier, which obviously works very well with the large pecs and hairy chest. Just
Yes, of course.
there, yeah.
Catch your beard as you holster.
Yeah. Nice.
Maluvial,
I'll help with the call.
Maluvial will constantly keep an eye out, stalking silently through the forest, although it is not her natural terrain. That lies somewhere else.
Very exciting. Anyone else making any particular preparations?
Yes, Elric will gaze upon the woods, watching for any danger. Yes, exactly. Never changes. But is holding a staff in between his elbows.
Wizard, Maluvial shall say. You
Yes.
watch to the east.
Yes, child.
I will watch to the west.
Indeed. Which way is that?
That way.
That way, okay.
Said the blind priest. I should like you to roll a dice. Let's see if you pointed in the right direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. You did.
I did not.
It's fine.
That way.
One direction's as good as another.
Right, so you make your way through the forest along this old path that wends its way. The merchant at the front gets a little bit panicked and starts to look a little bit more concerned as he goes.
Does the mist become thicker or less thick as we go?
I think from your perspective, a little bit thicker.
Gather close together, Maluvial shall say. The mist is becoming thicker.
Oh, that's very good, Almenowise. Yes, I like that.
Thank you, Lucas.
My pleasure. As you all make your way through, and at the front, the merchant says, "I do hope," he says, "that we are going to be getting there soon. I wouldn't like me partner Joanna to be thinking that we were late. She is already going to be very upset because of the stock what we did lose. She has become very angry of late." Meanwhile, beside you, the barge master just grumbles underneath his breath almost. He says, "Yeah, it's quite a problem there, what they're having."
May Maluvial rack her brains to think of any peculiar stories about angry mist.
Oh, why don't you do yourself one of your tests on that tippy-toppy skill of yours?
That is my tippy-toppy skill.
Missed.
Yes, I have passed.
You have heard that there are all manner of ancient magics, often wrapped up in mist, and that the mist sometimes comes hand in hand with ancient creatures called bog demons.
We must all, Maluvial says, be on the lookout for bog demons.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I know it. Yeah.
They are associated with
With what? Says the merchant.
they are associated with the mist.
What do they look like?
He says, "It's just a little bit of bad weather is what it is."
It is not. It is thick and unnatural.
Oh my golly.
We
He
should
says,
all tread carefully.
The barge master, "Oh, my mother," he says, "she is often saying this place is cursed." He says, "I am glad she has decided not to come with us and stay back there with the rest of the stock. I would not like her to be moving in deeper into this cursed place."
It's good that she stayed next to the cursed waters instead of the cursed forest.
Well, I'm sure
Good thinking.
that she will be looked after.
And she was only next to the cursed water.
Yeah, she
not
wasn't
in the cursed
No,
water.
yeah, she wasn't in it. So that's what I said.
Why are these people?
It wasn't a cursed shore.
Why are these people unable to
Are you
say
sure?
cursed? Out of curiosity.
You've got Lord of the Arts. As Gerhardt, cursed is commonly used in there. It's not something he would even consider as odd. Of all the people here, he's the one
I
who's
see.
least likely to see it as odd.
Right.
Great.
But
Lord.
the dwarf.
But
Yeah.
the dwarf, by comparison,
Yes, he's very much a hammer for every nail.
Yeah,
Or every
he-
problem is a nail, for he is a hammer. And a very handsome hammer at that.
so he could bring that up. As Lucas looks at you, pardon, sir?
Should I do a different voice for the dwarf?
I think you should.
100% him.
All right. I am from Altdorf now. Why is everybody saying the cursed instead of cursed?
That is just how my mother says it, says the barge master, whose name is Reik.
Right. Yeah.
How do you just say cursed?
Yeah, I just say cursed, for I am a common man. Dwarf. Ish.
Alamino, I love that pause. That was a very good pause.
Yes, it was very good, very
Powerful.
dramatic.
Yeah.
I would like to say, of all the places what is cursed, it's the Grousey what is cursed most. Up one level. Lower Ubersreich?
Yes.
Nope.
Yes, you can roll. We still weren't paying attention
Ah,
when you were at Noble School.
You may, in the meantime, will turn to Alamano, I think.
The Grousey is not far away from Ubersreich, indeed. You passed it when you were making your way towards your first ever temple. Interesting that the Grousey should be dropped here in particular, although perhaps not. Maybe this adventure was originally created by someone who'd been in the Ubersreich area. But if this is the Grousey, you would even be able to probably say that was the Werfelfluss that they were making their way along as a river.
Nice.
And indeed, to make matters even more, there is a cursed place with mist in the area. In that you've heard that there's mist that never goes away there, or at least didn't at some point.
I don't like this.
Yume was going to say something to him anyway.
Yeah, Yume will turn and put her hand on her mouth. You know, you don't have to say that Malovial is saying something, like your voice is different. So it's okay, you don't need to say it all the time.
But it is good to maintain a sense of difference between the characters. I do not like bleed. It is dangerous.
I agree.
You look concerned, Father.
Thank you for the compliment.
My voice is different. I'm
Just-
taller.
This all feels a little true.
It is. This is an event that occurred. The writer of it, who was a university friend of mine, actually went through this and wrote it up as a thing. What did happen? She oh my! I see what you're saying. Sue, what you're saying. Lucas settled himself down. Right. So actually, this is an actual event that occurred, and she laid out all the different consequences because she then went and interviewed all the people involved, and some of the stories were actually rather tragic. Truth be told, quite tragic. Particularly when she found out what was going on behind the whole affair.
Well,
But this is a happy game, remember?
we are determined to get the best outcome for these people.
Right, good. I'm delighted to hear that. As the merchant pushes his way forward at the front and sort of comes to a half halt. He goes, I think it would be better perhaps if some of the brave fellows what is in our employ maybe went first, because I am no longer feeling quite as comfortable as I did a little bit earlier. I'm sure it's just over there, though. We will be fine.
Leopold will step in front of him and say, I will gladly take the lead, but you will need to direct me.
I will stand alongside the father
Excellent.
with my working eyeballs.
And you have my gun.
Right, excellent, perfect.
Just one.
Just one.
The other one's for me.
In no time at all, you eventually burst through from this forest into a wider open clearing, and ahead you can see the glow through the mist of what may be a fire. Oh, I think we are perhaps getting there.
Are we hearing sounds of...
Not yet. It's all
Fire.
muffled. It's all muffled by the mist, not quite making its way through all the moisture that hangs in the air.
Maluvial will say, it could be a spirit, an angry spirit, annoyed because these humans have transgressed its territory. I have encountered such a thing.
Could just be bad weather.
No, it is not bad weather. I know bad weather deep in my soul, and this is not it.
Would anyone care for a bit of music as we go? I've got a flute.
Would you like to twiddle your flute?
It's actually one of the best things about this character. He's amazing on the flute.
Right.
The character Alameda White.
Is that one of your key skills, sir?
100%.
Why don't you roll it to see how well your ditty carries across the right? So, what sort of tone are you going for? Is it upbeat and invigorating, or is it somber and sad?
It's upbeat and invigorating, and
Marvellous.
it's got a little bit of a...
Oh, the barge master can't help himself but do a little half jig as he makes his way towards what hopefully is the encampment up ahead. That was a spooky sound inside the ship that I did not like as everybody reacted to it. Let's pretend that never happened and carry on. So, Lucas looks around. And you hear in the back, I was just wondering what all the commotion is. It's the doctor. The doctor. Your doctor. I'm hearing some rather odd sounds coming from below decks, and... Well, I'd gone up, and now I've come down, and what on earth are you all... As she pokes her head round the curtain, doing, as she sees you all in a circle.
We are participating in drama.
Right. I see. Drama.
And
The
a training exercise. We did this back in the colleges.
Strategizing.
Problem solving.
I didn't realise it would involve quite so much humour. All I heard from above was all sorts of guffaws.
We're a very light-hearted group.
No, that might have been Brithilda. That probably wasn't us.
Yeah, she is famously cheerful.
She was guffawing all around.
Would
We
you-
asked her to go upstairs because she was
doctor.
too loud.
Would you like to join in?
That is what I was going to say. Would you like to join in?
No.
Are you sure?
As she pushes the camera. No. No. As she makes her way up the ladder. Absolutely not. But if you could keep it down, I think I might sleep above deck today. Meanwhile, back below deck, Lucas organises the arrival at the camp. Right, so, the camp. We're about to arrive at it, he says. Up ahead, looming out of the mist, are wagons with, on the top, like slates to hold off the rain and the like it's a proper roof. And they're sort of conical, leading into a squarish bottom with big wheels, and they are very dull, dreary, broken-looking wagons. 1, 2, 3, and another one's over the other side of the clearing. 4, 5, 6, 7 of them in total. This is probably... there's a few strigony moving between them, probably the strigony wagons. That would make sense. Over there's a big tent in yellow and gold. This is the colours of Reik. And the tent flaps are closed on that particular one. There is another tent which is in teal and silver. The colours of House Jungfreud, actually. Hadn't even thought of that before. I mean, I haven't played this since I was, 26? Huh.
So this happened a long time ago.
Oh, this particular tale, yes.
How long?
Well, about
How long?
25, 30 years ago?
Oh, I see.
Something like that? Right, so, where were we? I've lost track entirely.
Just coming
Tents.
into camp.
You're describing.
Oh, right, yes, of course. The camp. Sitting outside one of the tents is a very grumpy dwarf. Yes, quite. He's got a big, bushy beard, long, dark hair, very scowly look in his face, and really big eyebrows, the sort that just swoop up into his hair. And he's got a pipe, and he's scowling around at all the people who are not working. Behind him, slightly further, you can hear the sounds of the river. On the other side, as you've clearly moved yourself across from one body of water to the other, you presume that this is the Grousey. There's the big lake that they're hoping to build their wheel onto. And you can see the foundations of a wheel. Now, are any of you engineers or anything similar?
I've studied it a bit.
If anyone wishes to do some sort of engineering style role. Yes, excellent.
Magic and science. Same thing,
Yeah,
really.
it's quite. You are clearly a wizard of some distinction that has studied widely. You usually see immediately a few concerns. Number one, the water here is probably going to move very slowly. If it's on a lake, that makes no great deal of sense at all. To make matters worse, what's actually been built looks terrible. the foundations are weak. You find it hard to believe that any dwarf would have been responsible for this sort of thing. In fact, you're vaguely disgusted by the very poor shoddy workmanship. Perhaps he's here to try and fix it or do something. Whatever. He's sitting there frowning, sitting on his little stool.
Lucas, could
Yes.
could my character approach the dwarf?
Oh, of course you can.
All right, okay. Oh, hello and good morning. What time is it, roughly?
It's now, it's difficult to tell because of all the mist, but late in the day, definitely.
Right. Good evening or afternoon, my fellow dwarf. Oh, can I say
He
this?
looks up at you and he says, looking at you, "Who are you?"
What,
As behind, the merchant says, oh, we're back. He goes,
is it fair to say that I would be like speaking in Kazalid?
if you wish to speak in the language of the dwarfs, then yes, absolutely, sir. You could do so.
All right, easy. So I will have a conversation with him in Kazalid, which obviously sounds just like this, but in a different.
Yes, of course, sir. Yes.
So, what's going on? We've we turned up. We bought loads of stuff here, and well, that looks a bit shoddy, doesn't it? Who's done this?
You don't know that.
I don't know that.
No,
Yeah,
you
right.
don't.
No, I don't.
So what you need to do now is to
Right.
quickly reassess what you just said. Let's just go back and say it again.
Rewind it. Okay. You don't look very happy. What's going on?
Very good, sir.
Yeah.
Very good. He looks at you somewhat skeptically, and then looks over his shoulder back towards the work, and then looks back to you and says, in the language of the dwarves, "What? Who are you?"
I am. What did I say? My name was?
Girl.
I am Gerhardt. That's just registered now. there we go.
Is your
God.
beard
Have you
white?
caught up, sir?
Yeah, that is my name.
Of the Rivenold.
Maybe.
In the corner of your eye, you see Elric kicking the foundations. Just like,
My wizard friend, he don't look very happy with the building work that's gone on here. What's going on? Some sort of cowboy's been at this?
He says,
From Ostermark.
I don't know. Excuse me, will I reconsider what the language of the dwarves sound like, given our... Right, he says, speaking in the language of the dwarves, I understand that what there is definitely, if you had to deal with these work-shy fellas, it would be just the same. I'm kind of stuck with what we have got, he says, with a certain amount of anger on his face. Clearly a very angry dwarf. I was brought in to try and fix this mess, but it's a proper mess it is, he says. He looks very annoyed.
All right, well,
He is speaking in the language of the dwarves, to the dwarf.
very guttural.
so we bought a lot of stuff with us.
He says, you will probably want to speak to Joanna about that. She has been very angry about how it's been missing and all.
Yeah, I've heard that she has got a little bit of a temper, like. One of the geezers that we're travelling with, he said so. Well, basically, it's his missus, but the other guy that we're travelling with, he says that she's a bit of a battle axe, if you know what I mean. Well, you do, because it's dwarfish and that's sort of a colloquialism.
I absolutely lost everything you're saying, sir.
Well, I just...
could you translate that for me?
Oh, yes, certainly. So
Yes.
I'm looking to just understand a little bit more about Joanna's character by
right.
suggesting that she might be a little bit, aggressive or quick to anger or something like
Oh,
that.
I see what you're
Layering,
saying.
my lord.
Right,
Yes.
of course.
Yes.
And goes, well, I don't know about any of that. I will say, though, she is definitely a battle axe.
Lovely
Yes,
stuff.
very good.
And I'll return to the rest of the crew and
Right.
and feedback that information to everyone.
Look at this. You could talk this thing into coming down. Like, who?
Or sing.
Oh, I could sing it down easy. No worries.
Is anybody else picturing Elric with a pencil behind his ear, tossing over? It's gonna
Sucking his
cost you.
teeth. Oh, you've been done here, mate.
Love it.
So they are saying that we should be having a chat with Joanna. So yeah, your missus, right?
Who are you saying that?
I would be saying that to
Mr. John.
Router? Yes, Router?
Yes, probably him.
No. That is my business partner.
Oh, right.
Says, she is handling all the things here. I was just getting all the stuff, you know.
So it's a dwarf thing. Yeah, so that is a dwarf thing.
Right, yeah, of course it is. He says, right. I will, and looks over, make my way into my own tent, and makes her way as a beeline over to the blue and yellow tent. It's very nicely laid out, and then closes the flap side.
Blue and yellow, Zuba's right.
Yes, it is.
Yes, that's Ed asking.
Yes.
No one else.
Amusingly, colours from...
Teal and silver.
Pardon? Teal and silver.
Yeah, teal and
It's
silver
the
is...
Jungfrauds.
That's the Jungfrauds.
Yeah. That's why I needed the clarity. Because I don't know.
My own family colours.
I do not see, Lucas, how this is going to end in tragedy yet.
Well, perhaps you have yet to find out the key information that had been presented to you.
Yes, I think we are missing
I think,
something
as we
everywhere.
already mentioned, the things that people were saying are not necessarily true. And further, if you do not ask questions of them, you'll never know what it is they're trying to hide.
I just think it's funny that Gerhardt suddenly had a wife and suddenly he sees everyone in relationships.
What? Pardon?
You think Gerhardt had a wife and then suddenly you're this ladies' man who thinks everyone's dating people.
Well, that is sort of the point of this, isn't it? To live out fantasies.
All I'm doing is I've gone, well, I'll look at myself and then I'll just do exactly the opposite of myself. So,
makes sense.
you know,
So
I'm not a dwarf.
So,
Or must
I
we?
think we should.
Correct.
I think we should go around the camp and find out more information from these people because clearly there's something going on here.
We should definitely talk to Johanna.
If she exists.
More angry women.
I'm curious about. I'm curious about why.
Oh, you killed him.
Why there's a tent in the Jungfrau colours? Yeah. Does that suggest that there may be a member of said family here?
Why do you not go, says Manuvial, and ask at the tent? I do not know the mortal's colours.
All right.
Manuvial rolls her eyes as the father walks away.
I felt that.
Are you walking over to the tent?
Yeah, I mean, I suppose it'd be the right thing to do if there's a noble present to present oneself to them.
That sounds very good. Are you? The tent is currently closed.
Is there like a pole against which
well,
one could
presumably,
knock?
yeah, you like that, and it opens up, and a rather a red-eyed woman with curls of blonde hair. You would have probably guessed that she was maybe in her 30s, but she maybe is much older than that. It's difficult to tell. Her face is lined and haggard, and she looks very, very tired. She looks up at you with her bloodshot eyes, and she says, "Yes, what is it?"
We have just arrived.
And then sees you, blind, and blinks. Right, hello?
We've just arrived with some of the goods for the camp, and I thought if there was a member of the Jungfrau family here, I should pay my respects.
She blinks twice and says, "Remember the Jungfrau family here?"
Well, the colours of the tent, I presumed. Perhaps
Oh,
I presumed
no,
incorrectly.
we just bought it.
Oh.
She says, rather cheap, actually, in Reik, which is the nearby town to here, which, of course, you would know, being you. But you might not know, but maybe you know. But it's the nearby city to here, and the Jungfrauds are the ruling family there, he says, which is much more topical than I realised it was going to be now that I think on it. But nevertheless, yes, well, she says, is that wastrel back? He says, and...
would you be Joanna?
Yes, I am Joanna Stiegler. Are you the people he has employed to help us around camp?
Yeah, Rook has just returned to his tent.
Really? waste of space. If it wasn't so late, I would very much take that up with him. She says, I'm very upset.
She's fuming.
She is actually. Yes, she is. She is fuming. I take that up. I'm very disappointed, and I imagine he's probably ruined some of the stock anyway, because that's the sort of thing he would do. The idiot that he is. This is her business partner.
I mean, some of it did get lost when the bar
I knew it!
ran aground, but it's very much not Rutger's fault.
It's what always is the case. He always claims it's not his fault, yet always it occurs around him.
I can't speak for other instances, but on this occasion, it certainly was not his fault.
Very annoyed. It's terrible. From the back of the tent, you hear, "Can you be quiet?" And she's like, "We've got trouble with my blasted partner again."
Lucas.
Yes.
Maluvial would be able to tell. Was that you trying to do an elf voice?
Oh, no, yes.
I thought so.
There's definitely an elf voice that was coming from within the tent. Do you think that your sharp elven ears would catch it?
Absolutely.
I've often heard you missing things. Is that because you're not playing yourself?
What? I heard it.
Oh, well, there we go. So, yes, you heard it. There is an elf in there.
I say.
Are you speaking the language of the elves?
Yes.
Right. And you hear from within. I say, is that someone on the outside who is an elf speaking the language of the elves?
Maluvial will say in the language of the elves, which will not take her much time. Yes, I have recently run aground in a barge. Would you like to come out? And we can, perchance, introduce each other.
Yes, of course. And she sticks her head out, and it is an elf. She says, "My name is Feluvial." I'm not even joking. That's the actual name of the elf. Is
that your sister?
No, that's his sister. No.
My sister.
I don't even know what to say. I'm not even making this up. That is actually her name. And my name is Feluvial, she says. What is it that you are all doing here for?
I am Maluvial.
Well, I'm half tempted to make it her sister. Sister, she says, what are you doing here?
I thought you were a nun.
I am not in Nuln. I happen to be here. I am investigating something, I am.
Is it the mist? I sense its foul, lingering presence around us.
Not at all. I have been sent here by my husband, she says. I have to go and look into things I have no interest in at all.
I can't tell what's going on. Who's talking in which part? It sounds exactly the same to me.
Thank you very much. All right.
Who is
you
your
really are
husband?
very kind.
Who is your husband? What is his name? Perhaps I know him.
Oh, that is actually
It's your
quite
sister,
interesting.
as you would expect.
They're potentially topical.
My brother-in-law.
Right. It's very interesting. It just so happens, it says, that it is, it is rather topical. The Lord of Trot.
They married an elf.
What? is that true?
Well, I don't know. I am just a dwarf.
No, I'm asking you, my lord. Is that
Oh,
true?
right.
It,
What?
It absolutely isn't. That you're aware of.
That the Trots ever married an elf?
Listen, look, with the trots, so you don't pay attention to them. Why would you ever possibly care about anything?
But surely
Ultimately.
an elf wouldn't stoop to...
Well, exactly.
I
They've
mean-
got better taste.
Do you know what? I would have thought. I think exactly the same thing.
I don't know why I can feel a disdainful stare, and I don't understand why. I thought I said something nice.
Get used to it.
Yes, no, it's anybody who would choose to marry into that family, quite frankly, absolutely insane.
Your father chose your brother to
Or
marry.
I know.
Or a liar.
Or a liar.
So, Feluvial, what is it that you are investigating?
Look at
Yes.
her ears.
I am not investigating as in so much just overseeing. I am overseeing. I was getting the wrong person.
What are you
again.
overseeing? What
Just things. She says, "Oh, alas, I feel weak. I must sleep." She says, "Excuse me, for I must sleep now." She says, and she makes her way to the back of the tent.
Well, I am concerned for my sister. Perhaps she is under duress, thinks Maluvio.
That is fair. As the merchant who was talking to... Who is she talking to again? Oh, yes, of course, Father. Says, we shall take this up in the morning. She says, I recommend you find yourself somewhere to sleep so that we can organise the business of the day when the mists have cleared.
Of course, that conversation between Fluvial and Maluvial will only have taken a few breaths.
Right. Can you speak that quickly when you're speaking
It is an
the
efficient,
language of the elves?
It is an efficient language.
Oh, right. I did not know this.
Sorry? Yeah, tired.
So,
she just like drifted back.
Or maybe more than a few breaths, a couple of sentences.
Oh, I see. Oh, that's fascinating to know and good
And
to
a
know.
flick.
Very good to know, actually. So, I'd say that we have learned something there. That we ever see two elves do this, that an entire conversation made. They may even have done a play. He says, "I'll admit I am perhaps going a bit far there." I said, "Sorry, Mom," but it could have been a play.
Lady who is running the camp.
Warhammer.
I can't remember.
She says, "What you need to do is probably speak to Thulgrim. He is the one that's organising all the main work. He is not very happy with the workers what are here. However, I need to get myself some sleep. Not been getting a lot of it here," she says.
Why
why
not?
ever not?
There's nightmares, terrible dark nightmares, the worst nightmares that I've ever had, she says, and now I must try to sleep, and closes the
And
the
then
tent.
Plume will turn to you and say, Father, you don't ask why two ladies are not getting much sleep in a tent together, gee.
I don't think it was a happy reason. I was able to successfully infer that the reason was negative.
You don't know that.
But I do.
Could be a lie.
I would like to know if your character, Father, is blushing as much as you are blushing, Father.
No.
No, he's completely fine with it. He seems all right.
Okay.
Yep, so there we go.
It's less funny to tease you if your character doesn't blush.
Quite.
After this, you are going to tell us everything that happened that your friend told you about this circumstance, aren't you?
Oh, it depends how well you do.
But in the debriefing.
Well, in the debriefing, we might, leave it open for you to do it again at a later date and get a different result at the end.
Unacceptable.
No, I think that actually sounds good. We have to accept with the consequences of our actions, which is what this game is about, right?
But
Yes.
do you not wish to know about the trot?
Well, if you wish to know about it, then you'll need to find out about it, won't you?
Well, I
Mum?
tried, but she just went away.
I-
My sister rudely just left.
I mean, she's only in a tent. You could easily cut a hole.
Pardon?
You could easily cut a hole.
I did not hear that correctly. That's like a horrific turn of events.
I could set her bum on fire.
She is a liar.
Am I? Right, so, the horror aside, what are we doing? Are we going to perhaps settle down and try to organise someone to sleep, or have you got another plan?
Well, I think Lupo would like to talk to others in the camp to see if they've also been having nightmares.
That is a good idea.
So do yourself a talking roll.
I'm pretty good at that.
Yeah, excellent.
I might use one of them fortune. I'm pretty good at
Yeah,
that.
you're pretty good at that. Right, so you make your way around the camp, and several of the workmen are very concerned about the work in general, and all of them, every single one of them, has been having nightmares.
Of a similar nature.
None of them remember them. The nightmares.
Just waking, feeling.
Wake up feeling awful, terrible.
Do they wake up in sweat?
They're
Cold
quite
sweats?
convinced this place is cursed.
And this happens from the very first night that they arrived.
This whole place is, cursed.
Curse it, yeah.
Yes, absolutely. So all the time they've been here, yeah.
Can we find out what they're actually building and why it's so...
It's a watermill. You know.
Oh, wait, actually, that is...
You wouldn't really call it, if I was to say
it's an
clearly,
attempt.
Elric, if I'm speaking from your perspective, you wouldn't really call it a watermill. It's
But
more
does
like...
a watermill not need running water?
There's the running water right there, no?
I thought you said it.
That's
They
a
call it a
lake.
lake, but it's running water, no? I thought that was a description.
On this side, it's a lake.
Oh,
On the other side, it's one of the issues
It's not
of this
even going to
particular.
work.
It's just not going to work.
Maybe it's a facade.
A cover.
So
for
what are they
something
really
more
doing?
suspicious.
Maybe
What's-
you could force your way into the tent
It's
to
also
confront your
very
sister,
likely
and the
that
rest of
they're
us could.
idiots.
I could open it with my hook. From the back.
That
I mean,
wouldn't
she
that
is-
wouldn't unnerve them
No,
at all.
She is my sister.
You can hear sounds coming from within the tent. It appears that they're busy. It's fair to say they're vocally busy.
Oh, I will listen. Maluvial will listen.
We all will. Like,
Right, well,
Is it sex noises?
Lucas blushes deeply as he sits there.
Is this part of the scenario?
Yes, and they make noises.
The Johanna and the L.
you were right.
I was right.
See, Gerhardt?
They make noises.
What colour was Johanna's hair?
Pardon?
What colour was Johanna's hair again?
Black. Black, it's midnight.
Oh, right.
He says, noisy. It's noisy. Can we move on from this?
No, I think you should explore it
I
further.
think, Father, I don't think anybody needs that.
Everybody around the table's like,
What was that? There was a term in the last time we did this. Shine a spotlight on something, wasn't it?
Let's not shine a
I
spotlight
think
on
we
that.
should move on because I am interested to find out what is happening here. Why is there a shoddy watermill and mist and two?
Let's see who designed the watermill. Let's see what idiot thinks that's suitable.
I could speak to my dwarf friend and he would tell me who designed it. Hello, dwarf friend.
His name?
I can go over. I also understand the language of the dwarves.
The language of that you can speak it too.
I can. Well, I mean, I can, so I should.
Geezer!
Yeah, I can. Oi, oi!
Excuse me, I need to remember the language of the dwarves again. Roar! Geezer! He says, oh, I've got it. He says, well, if I am talking, I'm being blunt like a dwarf. Is that how we do it? Blunt like a dwarf.
Yeah, I'll do.
He says, well, the techniques that I would employ are... he said, excellent. If I a good dwarf support, are quite different to what I would do with these shoddy manlings. He says, who aren't doing any proper work. I say that all of the fault lands on them. I asked for more money so we could employ proper folk like, and they weren't having it. If I'm honest though, these two squabbling... He swears quite vitriol. I can't even say it. Vitriolically. With vitriol. That's it. And he swears quite deeply in the language of the dwarves. He said, if you think you can get them to hire some proper folk, you should go and speak to them yourself. It is their fault, not mine.
While this is happening, Maluvial will approach the tent of the charming man, Rutger Rauter,
Right, yes.
to see whether she can glean any information from him.
You can hear inside there almost what sounds like whimpers.
Oh, more sex noise.
Oh my, Elric. You sound very blunt with these things.
Maluvial will say quietly, "Are you all right in there? Can I be of assistance?"
And you hear, That is what you hear.
She will enter the tent.
He appears to be asleep, tossing from side to side, sweat on his forehead.
Maluvial will crouch down beside him and try to entreat out of him to narrate his dreams.
As he goes,
What is happening?
I would like to
What
have.
do you see?
I would like to have your. I don't know. What sort of skill would that be?
Well-
Do you have any left?
I have one tippy-toppy skill left.
Oh, so
Lucas.
what is it going to be? I should like you to describe your skill to me.
It is
It's very good. Good luck.
animal care.
Oh god.
Well, he's not an animal. He's a human. You've made this joke before, if I do say so myself, and I find it quite insulting.
No, I'm not going to use it on him. I am just bookmarking that.
Right. So what are you doing to him?
For him, I will just try to. I will hypnotize him.
But he hasn't
Oh,
even
no,
got
he's
his eyes
asleep.
open.
He's asleep.
Intuition?
Yes.
Can you intuit?
I will
Well,
intuit.
no, but you were trying to persuade him to say something, so that would require more than just
Would you
your
like me to talk
passive
to him?
looking.
I'm pretty good at talking to people.
I'll get the father.
Excellent. March over to the father. I like it. Lucas looks over towards you. So, father.
So I will come in and I will attempt to get him to narrate his dream, because that's a very clever idea.
Right, do your
Maluvial
personal person talking skill.
person talking. Yeah.
He says, "Oh, the mists they gather. Murder!" He shouts, "Murder!" He shouts again.
People will very definitely not have his weapons out, just so that things look his most priestly.
As he tosses from side to side. And he goes, "Oh, no! The beast!" He says. "The beast!"
The beast of Orshlam, do we think?
I'll bookmark animal training instead.
Well, you haven't actually marked it yet and used it. It doesn't matter until you use it, Mum. So you can keep it for whatever you want it to be.
Right.
Does that name mean anything to you? I know you are well versed in the supernatural,
The
Maluvial.
four of you out of here who are outside, you might hear that if you pass your
What was
perception
it? The
roll.
beast
Beast
of
of Orshlam.
Orshlam. Does that mean anything to me with my law supernatural?
No,
Yeah.
you will hear the murder from the tent.
Yes, I passed.
You pass, yes. You have heard of the beasts that may reside in what you believe might be the swamps over there. And there are many dark rumours of ancient mist creatures that rise out and kill people
Like
that
the-
might be passing
Other
by.
than the bog demons, or in
Does-
addition to?
In addition to the bog demons, are they?
They are in a
possibly the
similar.
same?
They are in a similar locale, so to speak. They could be the same. Just
So-
maybe two different forms of folklore appearing in different ways.
Maluvial will look at the father intently and say, "I have heard of these creatures, dark beasts that lurk in the mists and take people unawares."
As you say that, the curtain pulls back, and Blutilda is there with a tray. "Figured you might like some tea," she says. Pops it down.
Oh, thank you, Blue.
"You've been talking so much," she says. "I figured some nice tea. I've made 2 pots there. There's some cups.
Oh, yes.
Bit of
Actually,
milk.
great.
Thought you might like that. I'm having some kip upstairs."
Somewhat parched. We could take a little break and have some teas and things like that.
That's exactly what I was thinking. He says, "And with that, we will take a break." As they drink their tea, consider the Beast of Orshlam, presented by the ever so impressive Master of Games, Lukas.
Magic and flute question mark.
Lukas finishes off his cup of tea, looks around at everybody, and smiles. "Right. It was really rather nice of her to bring down the tea, I thought. What we'll do is we'll start off on the next day, so that you can have found yourself somewhere to sleep. Now, it's up to you individually where each of your versions of yourself, or perhaps a dwarf, or whatever it is, has made yourself somewhere to sleep. The Strigony, who helped you on the boat, they're more than happy for you to bunk up with them if they want in their tents or inside their little wagons. If you'd like to creep in with those. Other than that, you're going to have to build yourself a lean-to or some other form of tent for yourself.
I think wagon, right? Probably seems the safest option.
If there's beasts about.
Yeah. Walls are good.
Up a tree if there's beasts about, says Maluvial.
That, of course, up a tree. Why wouldn't you? Yeah, anyone else got anything they'd like to say on that one?
I think we should keep watch.
Oh, are we in the game now?
Yes.
I need to do this. Oh, the void. Yeah, you're probably right. Like, there should be
Yes,
some
that's it,
people
sir.
that do one bit for like a little bit of the night, and then somebody else do another bit of
Perhaps
night.
we could do it in pairs. Maluvial says, "Doughty dwarf, will you stand with me?"
I don't think I've doubted anything, but I will. Yeah, I'll keep an eye out. Sure.
He's really rather funny, isn't he?
Yeah. He's maybe more of a doughy dwarf.
Have you not seen his muscular chest?
He is jacked.
I think, I do think we have established very jacked.
He clearly spends an awful lot of time working those arms. Yeah, absolutely. His pistols are always up. That's it.
His
A gun show, we may say.
Yeah, indeed. So I imagine he goes to sleep with his pistol up too.
That's a joke for that penis.
Oh my goodness. Right, so the next day there are some things to cover. First, Alamenawife, are you sleeping up in the trees?
No, Maluvial does not need that much sleep, so she will stay on watch for most of the night.
Oh, that sounds marvellous. Could you do one of your endurance hardiness sort of tests, please?
Why?
You will find out if you pass or fail it.
I fail.
You fall asleep. So, marvellous. Right, yes, out there in the lovely misty air, you'll wake up quite wet. Right, so, why are you laughing? I don't understand. Oh my goodness. Oh dear, as he starts to blush. No, I don't mean, sorry, no.
Moist.
Father, when you wake up, the dreams you had, with a jolt, you sit up, almost bolt, upright like so, a sweat pouring down your forehead into your bandages, and you half remember a burning fire, and a baleful eye, almost floating above it, looking down into the fire, and then harsh screams, and a growl as another pair of dark eyes comes into, and you wake up. And terror is briefly in your chest before it turns into horror, and you realise you've barely been asleep at all. Or have you? You're not even sure. Is it day, is it night? You're so confused. As it turns out, it's actually quite late in the day. You've slept right in. Your sleep, however, has done you no good at all. You're absolutely exhausted. If I'm to say it, actually, for poor Plume, it is, if anything, you can barely escape the idea of this great pillar with an eye sitting atop of it, bearing down upon you as you freeze in place. And you wake up, your hands are stiff. And for a moment you panic, thinking you can't move them at all. Turns out you can, and it's all right actually. But for that brief moment, heart was in your mouth, panic was real, sweat. Much like the father, you've slept right in.
I wake up like this. Arr.
Quite. Elric, your wizard, a master obviously of the arcane arts. His sleep is deeply disturbed. You're tossing all through the night. I'm very sorry, sir. You're rolling around from side to side all through the night. It's absolutely awful. You can barely get to sleep, and every time you do, it's like there's this roaring fire that's just burning on the other side, trying to break its way through your dreams. It's hard to sleep. Very hard to sleep. It's not so good. You wake up feeling quite tetchy. In the morning, yes, quite tetchy. By comparison, it's a good sleep. Pretty good.
Nice.
My lord, it appears that the dwarf has no particular issue with this awful place and its terrible mist. No, not at all. Whereas for you, you pop off to sleep and you wake up in the morning feeling a little bit like you've got a sore head.
Probably because I scratched it in the night with the wrong hand.
I quite like that. I quite like the idea there's perhaps one or two, or maybe even three scorch marks or scratch marks. That's better.
I don't know, a burning hook would be even better.
And maybe you fell asleep with your hook lying in the stove and then you scorch yourself. That would be terrible. As for yourself, you wake up somehow in the middle of this clearing with standing stones all around you and this great, dark, almost hexagonal stone sitting in the center of it with odd, worn-out runes down its entire length. You turn, you try to wake up and then realize you are awake.
And I'm in a standing stone.
Yes! In a circle of standing stones.
What does the writing say?
It says, Well, nothing. It's all worn away down its entire length. The earth in the centre of this stone circle is blasted as if a fire itself had scorched it away. But actually, no, there's no fire to be seen, and there's certainly no heat. If anything, it is wet, of course, because of all the mist. And the mist here is thick, but outside of the circle.
Are the standing stones similar in construction to the hexagonal monolith in the centre?
Oh, they do not appear to be so. The stones on the outside appear to be all worn, as if the ages themselves have taken away anything that may originally have been there and just left small 6 worn stones. Then Lucas. Oh, the hexagonal one doesn't look worn though. No, it does, but not as worn. That's better.
Maluvial will consider deeply the lore of the supernatural, which she excels in, and consider if this hexagonal stone has any meaning to her.
Why don't you do one of your tests for that? What is everybody else doing as she's suddenly realising she's in the middle of a stone circle?
Sorry, Lucas.
Yes.
Maybe misunderstanding. Is the stone circle that
Maluvial
is in?
Yes.
Is that within view, or is it?
Lucas frowns.
Is it somewhere else?
I don't think you've seen it yet, sir. I would have probably brought it up if you'd spotted it.
Right.
So I don't think you've seen it yet, no.
Okay, all right. Fine.
Maluvial passed. No, I passed. Maluvial knows something.
Excellent. Well, that means that Maluvial knows that these stones are almost certainly very ancient. You would think possibly over 3,000 years old.
I see, Lucas.
Yes.
Old stones.
Ancient stones.
Is the middle one the same age?
Hmm?
Is the middle one the same age? If it looks.
You need to find it yourself to be able
Well,
to
no,
determine.
I'm asking if she happened to notice that. on
I
account
see
of her being there.
teamwork.
Thank you, Father.
She had noticed it was less worn than the other one.
Yes.
So what do you think? You think that no, it's made of a different stone. The central one is made of some dark stone, but the outside ones are of a far greyer stone, perhaps coming from the nearby Grey Mountains. Yes. Very interesting.
Can I go up a level?
You don't need to say that. You can do whatever you want.
And ask for Alamanawai. Does that sound familiar to her? The black hexagonal stone. Does it sound similar to things
No.
she's encountered? No. Okay. Good.
So what is everyone else doing?
I will count and make sure we all survive the night.
You make your way around, and one of your party is missing, perhaps murdered.
The dodgy elf is not here. Has anybody seen her?
Is it really the worst thing?
Just saying, we're one down.
I did a stint of a watch with her last night. She was around for that stint of the watch before I went to bed. She said, "Don't worry, I shall be able to watch for the rest of the night."
I hardly need any sleep.
Exactly.
I am so superior to everyone
exactly
else.
What she
Elric,
said.
I want my flute back.
This is Elric's flute.
I want it back.
Once the game is over, Lucas, can I keep the flute?
I see no reason why not.
Lucas said I have to keep the flute. I'm sorry. Well, continue on. They were good voices.
So last time we were looking around, we were spending some time over there, and I presume that I'm pointing in the general direction near the stones. Maybe
You don't need to carry on the voice when you're not actually talking. It makes it a
Right,
bit
yes,
clearer
no, that's true. I
for,
need to
for
separate.
all of us to understand exactly what's happening. Because some people might think that you're actually saying that as your character.
No, that is a good point, Lucas. Yes, I'll take that on board. Thank you.
Excellent. So, so they're discussing where she might be while you are looking at these stones,
Yes.
mystified, curious.
Can Maluvial hear anything?
She can. All the sounds are dulled by the mist, so not really. No, maybe distant echoes through the mist.
Can she hear Lagit yelling, Maluvial, very loud.
Oh, that's very different. Yes, absolutely. It comes with boo.
Who calls from the fog? Shouts Maluvial.
Very good. Yeah. Yeah, he's exactly like that, Eric.
She's over there. Should we go
Well,
see?
something is over there.
Well,
Let's maybe go
fight before
together.
breakfast. Always good.
Perhaps we could shoot into this space,
Yeah. No, I get
killing
you.
any bad thing.
I agree.
Or
Blindly shooting.
I find it's the best way.
You two are the worst. We're supposed to be working together
We are
for a
working
good
together.
outcome.
No, we are. Don't worry.
People might die.
I do
Elves.
apologise.
Consequences.
It was just a jest. Just a jest.
or we could test if it's her by you playing the flute, and then she can answer with the same tune that you played earlier, and that way we know it's her and not like somebody pretending.
Oh, I could sing. I could sing. I could just cast Fluvial's hand.
Or we could just walk
Ah,
over and find out who's on.
exactly.
Yeah, we should just walk over.
So do we just do
But
that?
while we're walking, we could continue to debate.
It's a wonder
Yeah,
we
you do
ever
that,
get
we'll-
anything done.
I'm finding this quite an accurate representation of what you like yourself sometimes, but perhaps more exaggerated.
No, I think this is spot on.
Would
Shall we,
a,
Father?
Let's.
would a lantern help with the fog, do we think?
It would certainly be lighter.
No. Father.
But alright, you think you in real life are shiny, but is your character also?
No, it's more meaning I'm blind. I can't.
Oh,
The lantern makes no difference to me.
fair
Yeah,
enough.
you don't need no light because you got no eyes.
But we have.
Yeah, no, it would be good for
The
us.
dwarf comes out and says, "Morning, oh!" Because obviously that is how the language of the
I
dwarves
mean, we've
represents.
already headed
We're
off.
sort
I guess.
of morning.
Yeah.
You right?
He says, "You ready for your work for the morning?"
Yeah, in like what? Did we agree to something? We're back in like 20 minutes. All right.
He says,
Cut the
"What
rosy
do you
leaf."
about?"
Retrieving one of our party. The scouting.
Is this in Reichsfield?
Yeah. Sure.
Mine was, yes, definitely.
Right then, yeah, I would respond in.
Did he just call us layabouts? And he's overseeing that piece of manure.
I think you did, yeah.
Okay. So we'll have words when we're back.
Ahead of you, Father, you can see the first of the stones rising out of the mist.
Can he?
I can sense them.
No, he can't.
Maybe I can sense them though.
But I could. I could say,
Yes,
there's
yes,
a big
you
rock
absolutely
ahead.
could. There's a big rock ahead. And you will hear that. You will
Sorry,
hear that.
I got distracted. Hello?
Hello.
The elf can be heard.
Are you a demon?
No.
Right, that's good.
Why was
Yeah.
there a pause?
Maluvial paused. I'm sorry, I don't know what to tell you.
I'll be-
Maluvial's very honest and wanted to check to make sure.
I think that must be true.
I'll be more specific. Are you a bog demon?
Oh no,
How many eyes do you have?
No pause.
I have not counted. I assume two.
Mm.
So
We'll
more
be the
than
judge of
average
that.
number
You
of
can see it
eyes.
now.
Yeah, two.
What is this place? Look, there is
There's
a
no
stone.
mist in the centre of the stone circle that she's sitting in.
It is protected somehow from the mist.
Has my Elric's magical sense been assaulted by the mist?
Well, you will need to do yourself a magical sense test. How important of a skill is that for you?
That'll be my middling skill.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't want to
Yeah.
say.
Yeah.
Exceptionally average.
As you come in, you think that this place feels like some form of malefic curse may have been cast upon it, but in a long distance past, it's lingering rather than present. It's a sensation that as you move across the edge of the stones and feel it, there's almost an aura of darkness.
Ooh. Well, this place is definitely cursed.
Yeah.
Do you think
Cursed.
that we should tell? Do you think they are here because of this? To somehow, perhaps, take its power? And they have hidden it with a shoddy rendition of a building that makes power to hide their greater goal, which is to take power from this.
Or
I
the
like that.
As above, so below, as my master used to say,
The
says
potential-
Maluvial.
evil power has manipulated them to come in here.
Yes, and that is why she is angry. Perhaps she is a vampire. Have we seen her in the day?
What? Hang
They
on.
don't exist.
Lucas smiles. Oh, I like this.
Who are we talking about with the anger? Joanna?
Johanna.
Or maybe
Joanna,
she's just
sleep.
cranky, yeah, because
Yeah.
she just hasn't had any sleep.
She might
Oh,
not
the
be in
nightmares.
morning.
That does make more sense than her being a vampire.
She sounded like she was having a very cheerful night last night. She might be in a better mood this morning.
Did any of you have nightmares?
I did.
No.
Like
No.
fiery.
Fire, a big baleful eye.
Oh no, I didn't see an eye.
I saw an eye as well.
I did not have nightmares. But
oh,
I
'cause
awoke
I never
here.
sleep and I'm in
Oh, I
it.
didn't have
Everything's
nightmares.
great.
Wait.
I didn't have nightmares.
If the mist isn't here, maybe if we have a nap now, we won't have nightmares.
In this accursed place.
Well, but there's no mist.
Probably
Perhaps
not
we
for the
should go
best.
back to the camp.
It is fair to say that the centre of the circle is scorched and burned out, wet though because of the moisture in the air, even without the mist in the centre. But definitely scorched and deadened. There's no grass growing here. It is dark, almost blackened earth.
Lucas, is
Yes,
it reasonable to ask a question around the way that this circle of stones is laid
Yes.
and the central
Monolith.
Monolith?
Obelisk. Yes, excellent.
is maybe somewhat mirrored in the construction of the windmill?
That is an interesting point. Do you have engineering or anything similar to notice these points?
I am just a dwarf. I can have a look because I'm a natural engineer. Obviously,
Well, if you have the skill,
no, I
you
don't.
didn't have it earlier,
I don't
but
have
I
the
do
skill.
believe that our friend,
Do
the
say it
engineering
aloud.
wizard, does.
Yeah. Oi. Wiswo. Listen.
Oh my.
We got central pillar here, and obviously these 5 other stones. Six. I missed that one. Couldn't see it behind the other one. Don't worry about it. Six stones. Do you reckon it looks like what they're trying to build, or like a mirror, or something like to move from things to others? I don't know. I don't know about magic. I'm just riffing here.
What was that?
I think that was the windmill
Was that Kazalid?
sucking the
Oh my.
energy from
Yes.
this place to that place.
Exactly. It was an attempt to make a sort of noise.
Slurping.
Yeah,
now.
would you like to
The
use that
elder-
test?
Well,
to see
first
if
of
you
all,
notice
he'll.
it? Yes, of course.
Okay.
No clue.
Could Plume also
yes.
check if the stone in the middle looks expensive?
Interesting. Well, it's made of a solid black stone and has old markings that are impossible now to see because they're all worn away down its entire length. Although the hexagonal shape has managed to maintain its shape, it still looks hexagonal. The side that had all the markings on it is longer than the other side, so it's not a true hexagon. As to whether it's worth something, do yourself a test.
Nope.
You have no idea. Yes, Father, what do you think?
Luke
I'll join you.
will attempt to point himself in the direction of Maluvial. Maluvial, is there any particular significance in the number 6? There are 6 stones and it's a 6-sided pillar in the centre. Is there any supernatural significance to that?
I see what you did there, Lupum. I will consult. Maluvial will consider if there is any supernatural relation with the number 6.
Well, why don't you do yourself one of those testy things?
Hexagons.
Yes, Maluvial.
So, you think back over your long, extensive studies that you've made into...
Maluvial is 3,000 years old.
Oh my goodness. Who would have thought? Right, so, she's possibly as old as these stones because these stones predate Sigmar himself. But so do you.
As does Maluvial.
Well, that was my point. Quite extraordinary. You may even have been around when these stones were first erected, shiny and potentially new. What you find most interesting is that probably the centre stone is much older than the others. Oh. Or maybe it's not. You take a small moment to think and go, no, the 6 are almost certainly some form of ward to hold whatever is in the centre in place.
Are there any missing stones?
There do not appear to be. The gaps are consistent.
And the mist
I
is
believe.
not permeating, so...
I believe that these 6 stones act as a ward to either keep something out or hold something in.
Well, if that is the case, and they
Or
are
both.
failing, don't take a genius. Look, those ones, right?
they're all mushed out over time, rain, all that, on rocks. I'm a dwarf, I know rocks.
Can we fix them?
I am not an engineer. I am merely a scholar of the world. Says Maluvial.
So,
This
on
might be
your
more of the
scholarly travels
arcane
around the world,
nature
have you heard
of
anything about fixing stone circles?
Well, not this kind of semicircle, no. Says Maluvial mysteriously.
Right.
Very
What
enigmatic.
about
Very.
magic stuff?
Yeah, it definitely seems more of the arcane nature.
How recent does the burning look?
Impossible to tell. It is what it is. It's black and it could be ancient.
What are you good for?
So, Leopold,
Yes. An unexpected awareness.
as well as being
suddenly.
a priest, is also
A wizard.
a curious student
Oh,
of
yeah.
the arcane. And though he is
Oh,
not
yes.
a wizard himself, he is well versed in wizardry lore, reasonably well versed.
I see. He's
In magical law.
clearly, he's been investigating the heretics.
Exactly.
No. Do you not understand? Magic is
Oh no.
divine. And divine is
I thought the purpose of this was to bring us all together, not to divide us apart. United against that,
magic.
anyway.
The Aether.
Are we playing a game? Are we playing a
You
game?
can lecture us later. We'll put a pin in it.
Oh no!
No idea.
Oh no! Yes.
Pardon?
Yeah, no. Yeah, he does know.
He does know.
He does know.
Right. Marvelous.
Strangely enough, with no eyes, it's hard to read these dice.
Yes, no. That actually means it's a success.
Yeah,
I believe. Yes.
Right. Good. Right. Marvelous. Right. So, sorry. What was that for?
I can't even remember anymore now.
Magic signs on rocks.
Knowing if there was a way to repair this type
Oh,
of
right.
magical...
I see. That would require some sort of great wizard, you think?
I still have one of my
I've only got a
tippy-top
mediocre
skills.
one.
Stands as tall as he can.
Could you not just bless it?
Why do we not go back to the camp and
They want us
ask?
to work. Why would we do
Yes,
that?
but ask if they know about
Because you get
this
money.
place.
And you're poor, and you're looking for money.
I suppose.
It is your raison d'etre, so to speak.
Maluvial will
The
say.
reason that you're doing things. Sorry, that wouldn't have made sense.
Some
Yes.
raisins would be lovely.
Yeah.
Very funny, man.
Has anybody heard of a place called
I
Petra?
mean,
I don't know where
I
that's from.
wasn't making a joke.
What?
Nothing. It's fine.
Right. So, who's doing what? You were about to say something, I believe.
I think we should go back to the camp and perhaps ask them if they are aware of this. And
But a bit like subtle. Like
Also,
Yeah, because some of them might be
casual.
secretly aware of it.
and your sister Fluvio, is she older than you or younger? Like, maybe she knows more about these stones?
we are twins.
You're twins.
not triplets.
Not that I am aware of, but I do not remember my own birth. Who is to say what could have happened in that moment, pressed up against that dark, dark rock?
Oh, go away.
So are you making
Dark
your way
rock.
back to the camp?
Yes.
Yes.
Right, marvellous. At the camp, the dwarf sitting there, tapping his toe.
All right. Yeah. So we're back.
You've been hired to do work. Are you going to be doing the work or not? Are you just like the rest of these fellows?
No, I'm just a little bit confused actually because we didn't do any. Well, there was no contractual agreements or discussions or anything like that. We would bring in the stuff here, but actually doing the work.
I think we are here to do work. What work is happening here today?
Oh, there's some
Find dwarf.
bloody annoying stones we need toppled.
Right.
He says.
Right. And why?
Well, we tried to get them toppled, but these bloody humans won't touch anything, superstitious lot, so they are. He says. And then he folds his arms by his beard, like so, and says, bit too much for me to do by myself,
Why do you need them toppled?
because that's our main route out, so it is, and we intend to use the stone in our building, so we do. That's what they want.
What
Who's
who
they?
wants? Johanna and Rutger.
Saves money.
Do you have the prints, like the plan for this?
No, you think they'd pay for that much?
So
Have you not realised how much of a shambles they are?
Oh, I mean, the whole thing is a shambles.
Exactly. Completely agree.
And
At least if we had some stone, we'd be able to do something better for these bloody foundations. We could build some foundations.
No offence, Master Dwarf, but even the work that you're doing is a bit of a shambles.
He says, you be careful, you'll be paid off right.
Well, just look at what you have.
You want to be paid off right?
Well, I'm probably not going to get paid at all if that's the end of the result.
Oh, you'll pay to get knocked down some stones.
All right.
Give us a moment.
We could always we see what he wants to knock down, right? So we say, which ones do you want to get knocked down?
But it's clear they're going to want those
If it
ones
is those
knocked
ones,
down. And we
yeah.
are not happy to knock those down because they are probably holding in some cursed thing.
Do we think if they're holding in the thing in the middle, would knocking that one down be all right?
No. When there are matters arcane that you do not understand, the worst course of action
Maybe I do understand that.
is to just try things out.
I do not understand them. Oh, I do understand them. I'm being very Liverpool.
I've got to read these. Haven't I? Yeah. Sorry, no. I said I
He
did it
does
in my
not
voice.
know
I'll
if he
read it.
understands.
Well, it's because he's blind. He can't read the dice. It makes sense.
There we go.
Yeah, did he pass?
He did.
Yes.
You don't know. And that's the worst part of it all. There is as many answers to this as there are days in the year. It's difficult to be sure which is the correct answer. It's not that you don't know, it's just you don't know which one to apply. It could be anything from these stones must stay up forever to these stones should never have been here in the first place. You don't actually know, says Lucas.
I have
Where to go?
a theory that maybe the burn marks were from somebody else trying to knock that stone down, and all that's left is the big black marks.
But Rutger and Johanna clearly know about them, and they're not, they're scared of them. So let's go talk to them. Let's see
I
what
reckon
they
that
know.
is a good way to go.
Right.
He says, are you knocking them down or not? Because if you're not, I'm going to Grousey and I'll just hire some other folks from there.
Yeah,
Well,
no,
give
that's
us a
fine.
moment. We just want to talk with Johanna and Rutger.
I bloody wouldn't. It's still morning. They don't get up till afternoon. Not in this place.
They'll see us.
No, they won't. You've tried to sleep here. You know what it's like. He says.
Master Dwarf, we are concerned about the effect on...
Are you bloody doing it or not, Elf? You're a bloody work shy like the rest of them. You don't even want to, do you? He says, looking very grumpy. He's got a very sour look upon his face.
I suggest we just
walk away.
Yeah, just walk away.
No, because then someone else will knock them
but he's
down.
got to
and
go
the
a long way to get him.
consequence.
Yeah, I mean,
It'll take time.
How far away is Grousey from where we are?
Interestingly, you don't need to ask because you know the answer.
Ah, nice.
But it might not be the answer that he gives you. You know that it'd be about the rest of the day walking over there. If he's got a cart, he'll be there and back in the same day. He'll be back by this evening.
There's the wagons, but...
Yeah, there's wagons.
Yeah. I mean, he could be there and back again within a day if he takes one of the wagons, but...
Yeah, that's actually right.
What?
No, he's right.
We've got
That's
time.
correct.
We've got time. We just fucked it.
Yeah, just walk away.
Ignore the dwarf.
I'm not...
No, they don't mean leave this place. They mean leave this conversation.
Right.
When they say walk away, they mean walk away from the dwarf, not the camp.
Right.
Bye.
I do not think we should let him go and get other people to pull down these stones.
I don't think they'll be able to.
We'll deal with it before that happens.
Have you looked at the stones?
He says, yeah.
Thorgrim?
Yeah.
Have you noticed anything strange about them?
Oh, just like the rest of the bloody stones around here. It's not the first set we knocked down.
Right, there we go.
Where was the last set you knocked
Says,
down?
well, last set I knocked down was 30 years back.
Yeah, he's a mug.
And would that have been around the same time that the mists have?
No, they've been here forever.
You sure?
Of course I'm sure, you fucking idiot! He swears at you. The shock, the awfulness of it. The dwarf is clearly
I
very
would have
angry.
no problem with that. But in this game, Elric takes serious offence to being called an idiot to someone who can't even design a water mill.
Right.
I mean, if it's any consolation, that's not how dwarfs really swear. Like, if they're swearing in Reichspiel, they're not that angry. If you start swearing in Kazalid, that's when you got to worry.
And still, Birdie, fuck him up.
Who's Birdie?
Oh wait, shit, she's only got the one arm.
I've got a hook and a sword.
And she's not called Birdie.
No,
Remember,
that's
Elric,
Birgit.
this is Birgit. You don't even know her.
You know what she said? She said Birdie, no?
No.
Right, Plume.
Have you noticed that the mist isn't in the stone circle?
He says, "Ugh,
And has that not struck you as strange? Some might even say supernatural.
supernatural human stuff.
No, yeah, this is what. Look. Calm down.
Superstitious, all of them.
Yeah, 1 second. This is a little bit. I know. Sorry about that. This is a little bit of the problem. So I'm what some people consider a progressive thinker within the dwarf community, right? Now,
It's good to know.
now, the older dwarves, very stubborn, don't like to mess around with things, don't look at human stuff. They're very much set in their ways, right? He's one of them. Not a wrong thing. It's just that you don't think very well in terms of like a community spirit. Yes, community spirit of collective dwarf kind, but not necessarily community spirit of like, you know, everyone pulling together in the same way. It's us and them, but also when things hit the fan or the griffin shit hit the gyrocopter, you got it. That's when we all pull together.
He also might not be thinking entirely rationally if he's not been getting a good night's sleep from
That as well, so he's a little bit grumpy. So I look, just leave him.
You're not doing it, are you? Blooming hell.
No.
You're just like the rest of them.
We'll be
Fucking
right
Hurons. And he goes away.
Yeah, nice.
So if we go and inspect I forgot what voice I'm doing. If we go and inspect the...
Yes, Father?
If we go and inspect what they have, the working that they have done, is it all just wood or is there some stone in there already?
No, it's all wood. There's no stone in it at all.
But then why did they knock it down 30 years
Where
ago?
were the others?
There's nothing to do with that.
No,
This is a completely new creature.
I was just checking that there weren't already some kind of cursed stones having been used.
If they're not going to wake up, maybe we could sneak into their tents and have a look for anything suspicious.
But if you don't sleep, then surely your twin sister also doesn't sleep very much.
But she did sleep.
But I did sleep.
Yeah, she fell asleep.
True.
And her
Plus her
sister
sister
was
might
very
be a bit
busy
more
last
tired.
night,
Yeah, quite. Yeah.
Well, look, it's Johan,
Joanna.
Joanna, yeah,
And Rutger.
and Rutger are actually we got to chat to, right?
Yeah.
Because they're sort of running the operation.
Let's try
We got into Rutger's tent no bother last night.
Yeah.
Elf just walked right in.
That is very
we
true.
know Rutger better because we've travelled with him.
And
Yeah.
he was charming.
Very charming.
We could
Lucas
he's a
kept-
very charming
Lucas
man.
kept on saying it.
And also, can I just point out that that dwarf has been here for 30 years and this is the shit camp that we're in.
I don't
think he's been here. There seems to be a problem in this party regarding proximity to that dwarf. like in the area, he knocked something down 30 years ago. Not here. If he knocked stones down here, there would be stones. Points at the foundations which are bereft of
You'll
stone.
find that there's a thing called erosion and they could have just eroded.
Not in
Really,
30
years.
Could be magical. It's not your area, Elf.
No, but it is mine, and you're talking nonsense.
Maluvial still has one of her tippy-toppy skills. Perhaps she just hasn't showed her hand yet.
I'm gonna
Well,
go.
Lucas, she did say animal training, so
She
last
did.
time I
Yes,
checked,
but
I
Lucas
also
animals
found-
aren't rocks.
She
Luke
can change it
told me
herself
that-
if she
that-
wants until it's rolled.
Until it's rolled, Lucas said.
Yes. What would you like to say, Birdie? Says Lucas.
Bageet.
No. I was asking what you'd like to say, not Bageet.
Oh well, Bageet is going to go knock on Rutger's tent.
Right,
Well,
so.
in as much as one can knock on a tent. Scratch.
So that's on Rutgers. Marvellous. Tap, 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 tap. There is no reply.
I will shout his name very loudly.
I thought we were
Nope, she's gone.
going to just sneak in.
Well, I'll distract him. while you
Several
do
of the
your tent.
Strigony look over to where you are and say, I wouldn't bother, they don't wake up until afternoon.
This is peculiar.
Why?
I'm going to go
Wait.
in and see
If
I
you
can
go
wake
in,
up.
you are going to be seen. It's not like you can go in without being seen. There's Strigony around the camp, several of whom
that's
are
all right.
making their way over.
Perhaps some of us could distract the Strigony.
With some music.
Yeah,
They
flute.
do seem to like a tune.
Perhaps you'd like to strike up a tune.
Perhaps I should.
Well, would you like to do one of your tune tests?
Let's go for it. Oh, perfect.
Oh, the Strigony are clapping. This is certainly far better, given just how
I'm
awful
going
the
to
previous nights have been.
play my flute and walk in the opposite direction of the tent.
Oh, marvellous.
Draw their eyes.
Yes, good diversionary skills there, Elric.
Like you are some kind of patched piper.
Like some star stage.
So, back at the tent, who's doing what?
Sorry, wrong hand.
I mean, he was asleep when we were last here. I imagine it's just open.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we want to go into underneath the back.
Oh, we
why?
want to leave evidence as well. Just
I mean, just
I was going to cut out a door for us.
but just open it. It's
The ties are tied all the way down.
Go under the bottom.
I'll explain the Mission Impossible theme song. By the
wait.
way.
Is the knot on the inside or the outside?
The knot is on the outside.
Unlace it.
Someone's tied him in there.
All right. Well, remember one of the things that he shouted while we were here last night was murder, murder, murder. So if we,
Oh, do you think he's been murdered?
well, just in case.
Do you think maybe we should
Oh,
get
dear.
maybe we should get
I
the
don't
stringing back
intend-
before we open this?
lead the band all the way back in. That's very
is
funny.
Is he making any
Can we
noise?
smell?
You
smell
can't
blood
hear any noises
through
from
the-
inside at all. Do you have some sort of extreme sense of smell?
Yes, but at a very minor level.
So perhaps do your very minor level test.
No,
so
just
close.
missed.
I think we
Nothing
all, I
that
think
you-
we all have a very minor level.
Yeah,
Anyone who's there can certainly give
Yeah.
yeah.
blood. You sense
Oh.
blood on the
Get
air.
the stringing back. We need witnesses. There's blood in there.
Whistle from Elric.
A great whistle comes over, and you can see over there Birgitta waving you over.
He
Calling
thinks,
you
oh,
back.
the prearranged signal. I better get them back.
And see, that's teamwork. So you lead them all back again, and they're all clapping, having all the fun in the world, as...
Unlace the tent.
Should I tell them?
Yes.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
you should.
We should also check the other tent.
Well, we'll do that in a moment. We're a bit concerned about Rutger.
He says, I'll go and get me master, and runs off and picks up the barge master. He was still inside his wagon. He comes out and says, what's the trouble?
Well, just I can't hear anything, and I think I can smell blood in there. I'm worried that maybe something. Look, his tent's been tied, but it's been tied on the outside, so he didn't do it.
Someone's been in there.
Can we
He
just
says-
unlace this tent? You're all going to die while
Bam,
you wait
bam,
here.
bam. Where'd it go? You're in there.
Is that a threat?
He says.
Loophole will
No,
start untying
It's
it
not a threat. It's just time will pass and you will age out of existence.
The barge master again says, anyone in there? As you continue to unlace. And on the inside, there is no corpse. Or body. Or sleeper. But there is some blood splashed upon the inside of the tent.
We
As
should
if someone had done something awful within.
check the other tent.
We all rush over to this.
Over towards the other tent. This is the one in the young Freud colours.
Uh-huh.
What are you doing? This
Can-
tent is
Can
also
I yell
laced up.
this time?
But the laces are on the inside.
I mean, it's not really much of a deterrent, is it?
Yeah, we should probably just announce.
Joanna!
There is a pause. And then and then we're still asleep.
Rutger
Come
is
back.
missing.
What do you mean Rutger's missing? She says.
Probably dead.
Yeah, he might have been snuffed it.
Kidnapped.
He is not in his tent and there is blood in the tent. Are you all right in there? Have they attacked you too?
No. She says, we're fine in here.
I'm
She says
glad
in
my
return.
sister is well. Fluvial, are you awake?
Says, no, your sister is napping. She says in return.
Needs more sleep than you then.
I don't mean to pry or anything, but it's probably worth that you come out here because people are getting a bit shifty because now it looks like you're sort of, holed up a little bit in a tent after your business partner who, let's face it, yesterday you were saying he's pretty worthless and awful and you'd probably be better off without him, is now dead, all missing and all the blood and stuff. So let's just,
Right.
do you want to nip out and make sure that, you're not covered in,
Bits.
yeah, easy.
From inside, she says, "Really, how dare you? Make accusations without seeing anything. It's extraordinarily rude."
That's all right.
"I don't think you would last very long in any sort of formal situation," comes the reply from the inside.
There weren't really accusations, though, just more suggestions.
Has her accent changed?
Right. Yeah.
She didn't sound quite that posh before.
That was absolutely just me.
All right, that's fine. I didn't mean to.
No. I haven't really done this very much of late. I mean, we used to play this when I was a lot younger. Right. So, she'll and she is dressed in a long bedrobe, all crumpled. Her hair's a mess, and her eyes are bloodshot. But there is no signs of blood or other evidence of anything untoward.
We apologize. The dwarf is simply direct. He meant no offense.
Says, "Well, have you found him, then?"
We will look for him. But about these stones, do you wish them knocked over?
She says, "Yeah, of course, we need them for the foundations," she says.
But what if there is a curse upon them?
"Oh, don't be nonsense," she says. "This is our land. We do what we want with it. We have the rights to do everything on here."
You own this land?
She says, "That's why we're building this."
Why are you building a watermill on such still water?
She says, "That's all down to the dwarf. He's the one who did all the recommendations."
We all turn and look at the dwarf.
He's
gone.
not here.
He's well
Whereas
sus.
he blamed both of yous and said that yous were against knocking down rocks. So
No, he was talking about the Strigony being against knocking down rocks.
I have no idea what's happening. I just want to hit people.
And the watermill will do what? Generate...
Are you sure that's only tea you're drinking?
What will it mill?
What? It's going to be milling all the grain that we're going to plant here when we knock down all the trees.
Yeah. Knock down the trees.
Well, chop them.
Do you have a plan?
Could we see it?
Blueprints,
He wouldn't give us any.
Yeah, all right. Well, who's
He's a shady dwarf,
who's
right?
pulling the leg?
I do not think these stones should be knocked down. I think this dwarf is up to no good.
Well, I did ask Plume to sort them.
Yeah, but you've been so mean to everyone. I didn't think this one was warranted.
Just saying, 100% record. 100% on record.
Can Leopold go back to Rutger's tent and see if there's any evidence of what might have happened there?
Yeah, Plume would
Maybe-
like to...
maybe-
Why don't you do a perception?
Maybe someone with eyes could come and help him.
I will help. Oh, the Luvial will
Sorry
help.
for any booms out there as Lindsay whacks her mic.
Alan and
Leopold is
myself
on
get
fire.
excited.
Yeah.
He doesn't need the help.
That is good.
The blood splashes.
Maybe having eyes is a distraction.
Go
in
out
this
from the
scenario.
back of the tent and away.
Towards a circle?
No, away from it.
We shall track him.
See, if we'd gone round the back, like it said, we'd have spotted those sooner.
Very true.
Yeah.
It is the truth.
I
Yes.
think I would have seen them, but I probably just thought it was dirt or whatever.
It's also fair. I mean, it's
Sticky
very
dirt.
misty and difficult to see as well.
Shall we follow the trail?
Yes. Eventually, we arrive at the water's edge, and sitting in the water is the corpse
Oh no.
of Rosgar. He has great gouges out of his throat, and there is an enormous footprint, a 3-toed footprint, impressed down into the ground. The footprints themselves go along the course of the shore.
Do they look like the footprints of a 2-footed thing or a 4-footed thing?
Well, what sort of expert are you on these things?
Not at all.
Then
Just one
30%. Go for it. Let's see what
Is
you
it something
conclude.
either arcane or supernatural?
Or animal care.
Now, as animals, perhaps.
I haven't decided whether it's
True.
training or care that I want.
Just knowledge, I think, would be the wiser choice. Are you all right over there, Master?
I
You
shall-
dropped
Oh,
your-
yes,
you-
no, I've just
Well-
dropped
You
my...
dropped your dice. It
Yes,
does
I
happen
dropped my
sometimes.
jingle jangles. That's awful.
Maluvial shall bend down, showing a hint of a whip at her waist.
Oh, my.
And
I thought she was going to say tail.
Oh, my!
and,
It's fair to say that someone reacts to this very positively.
Very thirsty.
and will consider her deep knowledge of beasts
I catch Plume as she faints.
to understand what made these marks.
Then go for it and tell me what you Have you yes or no?
I have yesed.
Oh, you've yesed. Then you think that this could be a very large creature, perhaps some sort of lizard-esque style creature, and you would guess that it definitely has more than 2 legs,
Maluvial will consider.
and is making its way in that direction.
It is a lizard, I believe, with at least 3 legs.
Oh, that's very funny.
A tripod lizard. Interesting.
It could be 4 or 6. It definitely does not have.
Definitely.
Reichspiel is not my first language, Elric.
All right. So what? We following it?
I think we should follow it.
I think we should.
It's
Yeah.
a threat to all of us. Let's deal with it.
Am I popping it?
But we need to
Is
be
it-
back so the dwarf doesn't get those rocks.
Yeah.
I
We
agree.
should maybe also check the corpse in case there's, a handy note or anything incriminating on him.
I'll pat him down.
Perhaps we should run back and tell the group and get some
To
able
We
people
should
to
probably
come
take
with
his
us.
body actually as well, because that is just floating in the river.
Yes, take his body back.
That's cool. Yeah.
Turns out you didn't even need to go to inform anyone because they're already cresting over the ridge,
Oh, right.
having followed you not long after. And Daisy as well. The Strigony. Oh! Curse! They call their collective voices. Cursed! We knew it was cursed! They're cursed! It was the beast, says one of them. As at the end, Joanna looks over. Oh. She shakes her head. We are going to have to, hunt it down? Yeah. Who did it? What did it? We can't have this in our lands.
It looks to me like it is some kind of lizardine creature. Very large.
Well, a bounty, she says. 20 crowns. You take its head for killing my partner.
Finally, something we can do.
Make it 30 crowns, and you got yourself a deal.
Oh, haggling. How are you at haggling?
Nah,
Master?
mate, I've already done all those things, so just roll on 30.
Right, so let's see how it goes.
Yeah, no, fucked up.
She says, 20 crowns is more than ample, but, she says, I will, if you bring back its head, add an extra crown per person that survives for discovering his corpse.
Would you mind doing something else for us?
And she looks at you and rubs at her very tired eyes.
Ensure that the dwarf and no one else does anything with the stones while we're away.
Says, well, they've got to come down.
Not today, they don't. Wait until we're back.
Right, well,
Your oath on Sigmar.
I am too tired, she says. Sure, on Sigma.
Swear it.
Yeah, we swear it.
Combining Maluvial's knowledge, uncanny, of the supernatural and of beasts, is there a particular kind of creature that is both lizardine and has a particularly valuable head?
Head.
Yes, something special about its head, its eyes.
Do roll.
Sounds like a clue.
Gland.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or is it triggering any memories in terms of anyone's dreams?
Yes, I have passed.
Perhaps a basilisk. A fell creature that can freeze you in its place with its eyes alone. Freezing you. Incapable of moving.
Do you have
Just your
to be
hands.
looking at it for it to work?
It has to be looking at you for it to work.
What if I covered my eyes?
Then you might be fine.
What if you had no eyes?
Then I think you'll be fine, Father.
But
you
it
can
probably...
you can just walk up to it and I don't know.
And die in a conventional way.
Yes, I very much think that might happen. Yes.
What
But are there any stories of whether that basilisk's power remains after its head is removed?
Legs.
6 legs. 6 legs.
6 legs, 6 stones.
What
Yeah,
if we
6 sides.
find some very heavy boxes
Hexagons.
Yes.
and put them over our heads?
I don't think that's going to help resolve the mist issue.
No, but
Lucas, it feels like it's worked once.
but does Maluvial consider that a basilisk's freezing power would remain intact once its head was removed?
You're not sure.
But it could.
We could find
This
out.
could all be a trap.
Let's just go kill a thing.
But why should it die?
Oh, no.
Fun?
Because it's murdered
Blocks.
someone. It's killing
It
people.
might kill other people.
At
It's
the
for
very
safety,
least,
but also large.
We could put a blindfold over its eyes.
After chopping
You have
its
one.
head off.
Right.
Let's go.
You
We're going
follow
on a
the
beast hunt.
footprints.
We're not afraid.
It makes its way along the edge of the water and then arcs to the left and stomps its way through the forest.
Elric will ask Maruvial, are they nocturnal? Do they sleep during the day?
Maluvial.
What did I say?
Maruvial.
Yeah. What did she say?
Do they sleep during the day, Lucas? Are they nocturnal?
They are prone to doing either. It depends. They are neither nocturnal nor diurnal. They could be awake during the day or the night. It depends on the individual creature and also the species.
Yes,
But also-
they sleep.
Rutger was gorged, but he wasn't like nommed on. It wasn't for.
No, it just slashed across its throat
It
and
wasn't
apparently
for food.
stomped away.
It was
Quiet.
cold-blooded murder. No.
Like it
Yeah.
wasn't just
Heretical
I'm hungry.
murder.
How did it take him from the tent?
And also, why was
And
it
how did it tie the knots again?
after being
Exactly.
hit? That seems really weird.
I told you something is afoot.
So is it the dwarf? Is it the woman? Is it your sister?
Yes, all of them.
Right, so let's think about it. So
This is as we're tracking.
there was blood in his tent, and there was splashes, and someone laced up the tent from the outside.
But it went out the
How-
back.
Perhaps someone...
Yeah, how big?
Oh, this was a mighty gouge.
Big enough to match the size of the footprint?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
There were no footprints near the tent.
No, there were not.
So how did?
But, I mean, I don't know.
Maybe he just... Well, no, the blood inside.
No.
'Cause maybe he just went for a walk.
I think
But then
it's
what
this.
about the blood inside?
That's what made me
So
pause.
he's been shanked by someone else, right? They've taken his body out to the river. I reckon that basilisk, or this thing that we're tracking, it is a basilisk, right? Yeah.
Do they
Has come
eat-
upon them during that time, and whoever's done the fella, has gone, bloody hell, and legged it.
When you patted his body down, were there any other wounds or anything?
And there were no other wounds that you were
No,
aware of other
just
than the
that.
mighty slash.
Although I suppose it might have been...
Covered it up. But it's awfully convenient that it covered the
Should
means
we
of death.
perhaps have a brief detour and just double check that they aren't doing something to the stones right now?
Yes.
Elric would also like to ask Malulu, do basilisks only eat live prey? With your amazing knowledge.
You don't know.
I do not know.
Because maybe that's why he's not eaten.
He might be a
Maybe
scavenger.
someone slapped him with
Yeah.
it.
Scavenger. Hmm?
I'm done.
That is a very good one.
Or
Does depend on
perhaps-
species.
Perhaps there is a sorcerer who killed Rutger and then controlled the basilisk to cover up the slash.
Or a shapeshifter.
Or a shapeshifter.
In my dream, there were two. There was one big eye and then two dark eyes came
Like
in.
the dwarf size.
And the
Very
big
similar.
eye made me freeze up.
Was
as
it
well.
dwarf size black?
I don't know. I'm trying to remember.
Yeah.
Was it dwarf size dark?
Brown.
No.
Would a basilisk size be dark?
No, but the big one. That
I feel like everyone who's seen them is not able to tell you that.
That's fair.
Yeah.
They're
So-
certainly morally dark.
So, where are you going and what are you doing? That is the important question.
Lucas, I think we're actually going to go back to the stones. And
That's
Let's
fair.
sneak.
We should mark the trail so we can definitely
Yes.
find it again.
Yes.
That seems fair. It's very close to the camp anyway, so it's not difficult to move from one to the other. The stones appear to be exactly as they were before. There are nobody around them or doing anything. The Strigony appear to now just be lounging around waiting for the day to give them something to do. They don't have anything. The dwarf isn't here to provide them with any particular direction, and the dwarf is the one that directs them all. And the poor woman is nowhere to be seen. Her tent's all laced up again.
Is there?
Sorry.
I was going to say maybe with your engineering you could set like a wire trap or something if anyone comes here.
Or just ask the Strigony to not let anyone go near the rocks. They seem pretty
Yes.
on board with that.
And alert us with loud sounds if they are being pressured.
Are they standing stones or are they people that have been looked at by a basilisk?
Yeah, that's a great question.
Like square people.
Well, we don't know whether
Over
they
time,
turn them
though.
into statues or just
How
rock.
big are the stones? around
About
the edge?
4 feet high, each one of them.
So they could have been done long enough ago that they have weathered. So they were 5 to 6 feet, and they have been weathered over time.
They're very precisely arranged,
Yeah.
though, so that might suggest that they were performing a ritual at the time.
Exactly.
Just a thought.
So, that done, are we going to speak to the Strigony and ask them to ensure
Yes.
that to simply reply on their behalf? They would say something like, well, we are not too interested in going anywhere near those things. Never! So it does seem very unlikely that they're going to be responsible for anything occurring at the stones. Back to the footprints?
Yes.
Marvellous. The footprints carry on through the forest, and it takes a good chunk of the day.
Sorry, Lucas.
Yes.
Just before we do that, could we inquire with the Strigony as to what tales they have about the stones, if there's anything that would chime with our belief that they might be people turned to stone? Or...
And their opinion on this, again, very easy. We don't know. We're not from around here. We just know this place is cursed and we'd never come into this place. He
Thank
says,
you.
maybe Mama will know. He says, but she's still back with the all the boxes. Appears that their barge master hasn't gone back yet. He hasn't been told to or allowed to, one or the other.
Then we should send him.
Yeah, maybe we should send some of them to go bring her back, because she might know something that might be helpful.
Yeah, well, I'm not very happy with her being out there anyway,
Yes.
Yeah.
he says. Right, so, back to the footprints now?
Yes.
These carry on for most of the day until eventually they reach the river, the very same river that you were making your way up before. They cross over and very keenly and obviously go to the other side. You can see them on the other side. The river is relatively wide, not very wide, but relatively wide. So it will take a little bit of swimming or somehow roping each other together or something similar to get across there without causing yourselves any trouble.
How deep is it?
It's relatively deep enough for a barge to make its way through this. There is rocks here, though, so you can make yourself over about half of it without dealing with, well, the water. But there is obviously still that small channel to navigate.
Could I not attempt to lift the rest of them across?
You could use that spell, yes, to pick
I
it
I
would
up.
would
like
need a
to-
rope thrown for me.
I have
Leave me.
decided that my second tippy-top skill will be rope work.
I like it. Perfect. Well, obviously, you would be carrying yourself some sort of rope around your body at all times. Perfect for attaching to the wizard there. So, if you do your magic roll and you do your roping roll, let's see how well we get ourselves across there. No! Oh dear.
How many
beautifully
fortune
tied
do
up
we
there.
have?
Pardon your normal fortune. You can
Oh,
use,
'cause I
you
thought,
can
yeah.
use your
Yeah.
totally. So you can
My rope work is second.
if you want, you could take a corruption point for this all important game.
We need to go to the very top level here. Is that
That,
Dan's Elric
that's
or Elric's
that's
Elric?
Dan's Elric.
Yeah, not a chance. The winds have let me down.
They certainly have. So clearly there's some trouble gathering magic in this area as the mist has gathered about it. However, the rope work you've got in place is particularly impressive, and that could be used to help everybody guide themselves across.
And I'm a reasonable swimmer. So
So if you want to swim ahead, you could do that. Do your swimming?
Or if there's the, what was it, the stir pike?
And there could be a stir pike somewhere.
I
Maybe
also
if
have a
you
sword.
create a harness, we can ride the stir
But-
pike.
we'll
maybe
catch
we
it first.
should wait. Maybe we should set a trap for it. Maybe it will come back. It does not seem wise.
Someone needs to pull in poor old Bagheet who's getting swept down river.
I'm going to use a fortune.
Oh, okay, maybe not getting swept down river.
Nice.
No, did I misread that? Oh, sorry, I apologise. I misread the dice. I thought you'd missed that one.
No.
Perfect. Then you swim to the other side, and a taut rope can be put in place, which makes it very easy. In this case, everyone can do a test, and if a single one of you passes, you all pass. But if all of you fail, you're going into the water.
What
Is
test
this?
is this?
Can I use my acrobatics?
Anyone who's got a necessary skill like acrobatics would apply, yes?
Father
I
passes.
He's passed.
That's one. That's good enough. Everybody makes the way over. Father helps people all the way over. Good pass there. Eric pushed over
Just
as well.
about.
So we're all over at the other side. Now you can leave this rope in place if you wish. Or alternatively, you could wrap that back up and still have your rope.
I have a spare. It's fine.
You don't have a spare this big, though,
How do you know?
because you wouldn't be able to carry that much rope unless you've taken brawny as one of your skills.
Have you met me?
Have you taken brawny as one of your
I
skills?
didn't even know that was a choice.
Well, that's unfortunate. You didn't take it, so you can keep your rope or go for a different rope. Lucas looks sort of smug.
I have my spare rope, which is not as long, but just as
That will
useful.
do. Marvellous. Right, so are we stomping our way up? It goes uphill for around about half an hour, then drops down to an open marsh. It spreads out in the distance, a broomish haze lying above it. The footprints, though, are still quite clear all the way down into it. Anyone got perception as their tippy-toppy skill?
No, mine is my middle skill.
You do? You may roll, but only you may. Ooh.
Oh,
Oh.
that's quite funny. I pass.
Plume notices that here, where the mud is much more clear. Beforehand, it was all forest and mist, but here, the mud's much clearer. Around the footprints, there's all sorts of odd depressions.
Plume will point them out to everyone to see if other people can help identify what they are.
She has a point. There appears to be some sort of odd depressions all around them. They don't carry any real texture because it's muddy and the moisture is obviously just filled in the gaps, but there's definitely something wrong around it.
I rolled for it, I failed, so...
Can Maluvial use her law supernatural and law beasts to assess whether it is either of those two things?
You may do yourself your beastie roll.
Yes.
Yes. And it's at this point when you can see the footprints clearly. You're not entirely sure the footprint is correct. It's not just that it seems a bit wrong. It's just that they're all, for every foot, the same.
Stilts.
This is wrong. Every footprint is the same.
Ah! Comes a call. Says Lucas with a big smile on his face. A scream.
She's going to be livid.
Oh no. You hear from above.
Sorry.
I'm not. So, a scream rises, says Lucas.
I have to work with her tomorrow.
That's unfortunate. From up ahead and around from a rocky bluff that's on the edge of the marsh, you can hear a scream and a whoa! A call of some sort from ahead. And then a low-throated perhaps a beast of some kind. Are you running down? Anyone else running in that direction?
Yeah. Baby.
Everyone running down, and you find yourself with an enormous lizardine creature.
It would take. Maluvial is taking time
1,
to shield
2,
her eyes.
3, 4, 5, 6 limbs attached to its long, thin, wrinkled, sagging body. It looks exceedingly ancient with a long tail with hanging scales, many of which are slightly rotten. Its face sags. Its eyes are roomy to the point of cataract. The creature itself only has about 9 teeth in total, a mouth that could easily hold possibly hundreds. However, it is exceedingly large. At its shoulder, almost 1.5 times the size of a man. And that has clearly frightened the 3 of them that are down there. Men, that is. All ill-favoured chaps, looking like they are perhaps come from the wrong sort of town. The bad side of the street, that sort of thing. One of them's a rather podgy fellow who looks like he's carrying quite a lot of strength to his big body. One of them just looks like he's probably beaten up people for his entire life. That just looks like the sort. He is hightailing it ahead of them, far skinnier, making his way forward. He holds 2 sticks in his hand. One of the sticks has got a large cross part over it. He's followed very closely by a shorter fellow with a badly scarred and bristly chin. He's also running. The larger fellow is running in a slightly different direction than the other 2. The big beast snaps at the back of the two and misses them by an easy 6 to 7 feet. It's not exactly the most accurate of huge creatures. Its skin, as I say, is mottled with age.
Does it look like it's had a rope or something around its neck?
It does not. Alemenowite, what is it that she is going to do?
What, Maluvial?
Yes.
Looking at its feet, does this make sense of the footprints? The footprints were all the same.
Oh,
What's
no, it
wrong
does
with its
not.
feet?
You can see one of its feet. And that is going to be what you're doing first as you examine the creature. The creature itself could not have made those footprints for 2 reasons. Reason number 1, footprints are way too small. Reason number 2.
Disturbing, Lucas.
Reason number 2, many of the claws are missing. They would have been very distinctive as a set of footprints. This is not the creature you
Maluvial
saw.
will call out, "This is not the murderous beast!"
What are you doing?
I'm going to look around to see if it's got a daughter or a son.
So you scan around, and all you can see in the distance is flying creatures over the brumous mist in the distance of the marsh, but there does not appear to be any handy little children popping out from around the rocks or anything similar. Our fellows are running away. How about yourself, Gerhardt? What is your dwarf doing?
Okay, so I think he will run down and oi, you, beastie boy, over here, and I'm going to attempt to be a distraction for.
Oh, right.
Yes, I'm not going to shoot at it.
Right.
I'm just going. Look here. Do I have time to tell people of my intent to?
Well, if you wish, but it will mean that you aren't shouting, look here, look here. You'll be instead saying, I intend to shout, look here, and then you'll do it. It will delay what you're doing, is what I'm saying.
Right, okay.
If you wish to be immediate, you would need to be, well, immediate, sir.
Well, but what he could do is he could run, and instead of shouting, look here, he could say something like, I'm creating a distraction because I doubt the beast understands look here anyway.
As a master of beasts, she does appear to have a point.
Yes, okay, fine. I'll run towards it, wave my arms around. I'm going, right. I'm doing this so that you guys can make sure that the other lads are safe at least, and we can question them because they don't seem entirely legit. But also, we don't want to kill this thing.
As he ways his way over. What is the father going to do?
Well, as far as the father's concerned, it may not be the murderous beast, but it is a dangerous beast.
It really is.
So he's going to see if Sigmar agrees with him. And he's going to call upon his god to summon down a flaming comet. And
oh my goodness gracious! The gods themselves are going to interrupt.
Or not. We'll see. No, maybe they're going to use a fortune point. Yeah.
The sky parts. And this screaming ball of fire crunches down into the spine of the basilisk. It lets loose a howl. The fellows running also let loose a howl. Ah! As they clearly don't understand what is happening. Lucas looks very excited. As they start gibbering off, it looks around to try and understand exactly what is happening. As its hindquarters receive the very worst that the gods have to offer. What is it that Plume is doing?
I was feeling a bit bad for the bastards, but anyway, Plume will probably shout. What's like a phrase that they would like avast your scoundrels, and then she will start running for the men and
running straight for the men. Love it.
Stop.
One of them just throws a stick at you, which is surprisingly accurate, and flies towards you and bashes off your chest. It's not much of a weapon, I'm afraid to say, for the poor chap, as it just bounces off you. The wizard. What does he do?
He will attempt to scoop up. There was one man on his own and two.
Yes, one separate, and the other two there, yes.
Which one threw the stick at a Plume?
The ill-favoured chap at the front, the tall one.
The singular.
Yes.
So he'll scoop
No,
up.
that's two. There's two there,
Oh, sorry.
and the larger chap's moving in a different direction there.
Right. So he'll try and scoop up the two lads who've thrown the stick at Plume.
Right,
With
you bet.
Faluvial's hand.
Fluvial's hand. Let's go. For Lulu.
Fluvial's hand it is.
Come on. Yes.
As they get picked up by invisible fingers and lifted from the ground, the basilisk is searching around, looking about, trying to figure out what's happening. One thing's running away, you're running in their direction, and as you run towards them, they start lifting up into the sky, Plume! What exactly is happening here?
I'm just going to leave them dangling.
Wiggling in the air. I love it. As the basilisk looks round and tries to affix you.
Don't look at it. You may don't look at
She's
it.
looking at the guys dangling.
I'm looking at the guys dangling.
It's trying to affix you. You can almost feel it crawling at the back of your eye.
But I have learned my lesson from my nightmare. Where that thing happened and I got all...
Let's see if you're right. 50% chance.
55?
As
You got
her
your
hands
you got your fortune points.
begin to stiffen.
I'm gonna re-roll it. But it's not helpful!
And she looks in horror as her dreams begin to come true right in front of her. The basilisk seems to sense this and starts thumping towards, limping because of the pain that it has in its inflamed rump. Oh dear, says Lukas.
Can I like scream out or something?
Oh yes, your mouth is quite clear. It's
Okay.
only your hands that are currently freezing.
Maluvio, save me!
Right, so our two in the air, well, they're just panicking. There's very little they can do. Our larger fellow, he tries to roll off towards the right, sees all of you, half panics, sees it, half panics, and runs off in the opposite direction to all of you, which is directly away from where you currently are. It's fair to say he's almost comical in how he's trying to get away. It's gone past any sense of, he clearly doesn't care what he looks like. He's just trying to get out as fast as he possibly can as he pelts off in that direction. And Amenoi, what is it that, what is it that you're doing?
Maluvial will
Yes, Maluvial.
attempt, without looking at the basilisk,
Right.
attempt to pull Plume out of the path of its gaze.
Okay, so you're going to run forward and try and pull Plume off. Right. So, oh dear. Right. You do yourself some sort of physical test if you haven't.
I pass, even though it is one of my not
As you
tippy-toppy skills.
as you pick her up and drag her off, the creature snaps in the space where she was. Oh dear, you've been saved, but your fingers are stiffening by the moment.
I choose this position.
Middle finger.
What is it that you're doing, Birdie, who's controlling Bigot?
But it will charge at the beast from behind and attempt to.
Now, it's currently coming towards this direction. You'd have to go all the way around to charge it from behind.
I will charge it and just not look at it.
That
I'll do
sounds
first.
like it might not work. So 50% chance, and it just doesn't go according to your plan. You don't get your attack in. But if you pass it, you do. Then you may do your attack. How are you at fighting?
It's our tippy-toppy
It's my
skills.
tippy-toppy.
It's your tippy-toppy. Do your fighting.
That's a yes.
A slice down in it, and it cuts off one of its limbs. Surprisingly easy. The creature is clearly old. You cut through the flesh. It's papery almost. The muscle causes a bit of resistance. But then you're just out the other side. You're almost surprised at how easy it was to delimit. As one part goes down, and it lurches slightly to that side and snaps in your direction.
Maluvio-
It's unlikely to hit you. And did not. Snaps to your side.
Maluvial is calling, stop hurting it!
I'm trying to
While
kill
they're
it.
doing that,
Stop that too!
what are you doing?
Right, big fellows. running
It's
off.
big, yes.
No, not that big, not that big.
Oh,
The
yes,
other
he's
big
running
fella.
off in that
Yeah.
direction.
Now, I don't personally, Gerhardt doesn't really know the range of a gun, full range.
Yes.
But I would assume that.
I think you get a good pistol shot at that challenge.
Yes. Okay.
Oh yes.
Could I call the shot? Is that something that?
As in, you want to try and target a particular
I would
place.
like
Well,
to-
that will knock down your skill from tippy toppy to average, or average to little, or half a little, if you
Well,
wish.
right now
Could
it's
he-
tippy toppy.
Could he take longer to aim?
Oh, but then he's moving. He might get out of sight.
Right. No, we're going leg shot.
Oh, marvellous.
All
Go
right.
for it. That'll be
Go for it.
50%. Oh, 50%, and will he make it?
I
As he
also-
goes for it.
I need to.
Geralt.
Yep. That's it.
Oh, what a shot! Bang! A flash from the gun. A gout of smoke. And the shot flies over, slices into the back of his thigh, causing him to roll over. Oh! Tips and rolls and rolls and rolls and rolls down into the marsh itself. Oh! 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 He calls. Father, all sorts of things are happening. The beast has been engaged.
Well, I think really I can't let my comrade fight it alone.
Yes, that seems
So
fair.
I think Liverpool will charge in and join
Charge
them.
in now. It's sort of engaged. The chance of getting caught up in his gaze is much lower now. 75% chance.
Does the lack of eyes
Oh
help?
no, you're fine. So you can just charge in.
I would quite like to hit it in the head. If I
Whoop,
can.
that'll take you down one if you do a cold shot.
I thought it might not on account of how big that head was.
It will still take you down.
Just
I think it's worth it.
Go for
I think
it.
it's worth it.
The big hammer blow.
Oh, my fortune point there.
Oh, big hammer blow, big hammer.
No.
As you swipe and you hit it in the head, but it sort of glances and slides off it, causing nothing more. Boom.
It's being framed.
No, it's being hit. It's different.
Right,
After
so
the head, we frame it.
what is it that you're going to do? You're not your fingers in that, your hands are stuck, but the rest of you is quite capable. Although currently her arms are lapped around you. What is it that you intend to do?
Swoon?
Yeah, I mean,
Full on swoon.
Try for a kiss.
Look up into her eyes. Kiss roll.
Consent roll first. We've talked about this.
Maluvial is into it.
Then you don't need to make the roll if you don't want to. It would just be an automatic success.
Is
Fumble,
snogging
you
a
kiss
tippy
her
top
eye.
still?
Plume will just use her hook to pull
my
back her
goodness.
hair, and I go, so you come here often?
Oh my goodness! As is a big creature snapping away in the background, all she can think about is, you come here often?
Me cute, right?
Do you reply anything as you shout over, it's being framed? As you hear from down below, do you come here often with big puppy dog eyes, looking up into yours?
It's the first time for everything.
Maluvial is flustered.
It's a big flushing elf. Clack, 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 clack. What do you go to? They're up in the air.
Do you need help with the basilisk or drop those guys? And
You'll
I
need
thought
to
you were gonna
drop
say-
them if you're going to cast that spell again. It'll still stay up.
oh, then that's it hanging, and we'll cast another spell. Good old the light college equivalent of fireball.
Oh, right.
I imagine that knowing the light, it's a bit more precise.
Well, like a laser beam. I won't say laser beam.
What? Concentrated energy bolt. Yeah,
A
we'll
single
go
beam of concentrated light.
Oh, fortune. Yes.
Phew! It goes straight into its head. Out the other side. And the milky eyes lose their light. And it just slumps almost instantly to the ground. The beast of Oshlan is dead.
What if that was what was holding the stones in place?
It was certainly what took the barge master's wife.
How do you know that?
He said it was taken by the beast of Oshlam.
He did say that.
But then,
But someone faked.
Oh!
Yeah,
Comes a
right.
call from the big fellow who's currently down by the marsh. Oh! Someone shot me by a bomb!
which one of them was carrying the big stick with something?
And that's the
on
one
top?
that threw it at her.
Ah, right. What does the stick look like? There was something
It's just a
covered in
big
it.
long stick that looks like it had something wrapped in it. Interestingly, all
Yeah.
of their feet are also wrapped up in sackcloth.
Lucas, I would like to punt it straight towards the one that I've shot, and hoik him up.
Oh, right,
quite
yes, of course.
quite bodily.
He's like,
obviously.
oh!
Because you are jacked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're a big
Yes,
fellow.
yes,
You'll have no
over your
problems
head.
with that.
Yes. Yes. We'll do the whole like that. Carry him like a log.
Oh, right. I say, he's a big fellow, but you're, as we've already discussed, very muscular.
Yes, very much
so.
so.
You carry him along. He's like, oh! As he shouts each
All right,
time
yeah, no.
because he's been shot right by his buttock.
Yeah, pack it in, mate, or else I'll shoot you straight in the face.
Oh!
Lucas, could the fake footprints, conceivably have been made with 2 sticks and feet wrapped in sackcloth?
It seems you think unlikely. They probably would need
need
something
some kind of
on
mold.
the end. Yes, possibly.
But did you not say there was something on the end that's wrapped up?
At the moment, there was a cross stick on the
Oh,
end. It's
okay.
not enough to be a whole thing.
Maybe it broke.
That's what I was asking about.
Plume.
Wiggle your fingers.
That is an accurate depiction as to exactly what occurs. It appears her fingers are fixed in place.
Knowing law, beast, and law of the
Basilisk
supernatural,
blood.
Yes.
is this?
Do yourself a test.
Yes.
You
I have
think
passed.
that the only chance that she has is magic of a very precise kind. And even then, it might fail.
Might I
She
know?
might be like this forever.
Might
Well-
I know what that precise type of magic is? with
You
my
might, because you also have
arcane
yourself.
law? No, I don't know.
You have no
But
idea.
as a hunter of beasts,
Yes.
I may have access to that very magic, albeit not that well.
Do you have any skills left?
Only my bottom skills.
Nope. I'm sorry to say, if you're bottoming it, it's not going to happen.
Damn it.
Thought that was my role.
Has anyone got skills spare?
Yeah, we're back to Malulu and Plume.
We need Plume needs magical attention from a very specific kind of magic. My sister, perhaps my sister.
Right,
There
I'd
is
give it a
two
go.
humans screaming in the air up above you, and one desperately trying not to shout out as the boom, boom, boom dwarf arrives
Yeah.
with the big body.
Chuck me in the
Oh, chucks him down. Oh, as he
What
rolls.
are you doing out here? Maluvial will shout at them.
He says, "Oh, we are just creelers." He says, "What were creeling before the monster came?"
Yeah, all right.
Does he? Does
Click.
is that
Ah!
is that true?
Yeah, we are just creelers. Does anybody
Lucas.
have some form of interrogate skill?
No, but Lucas, is that your
Got one
accent?
skill left.
Oh, there we go.
I had the skill left, but the dice are not in my favour.
Oh, that is
so not
unfortunate.
tippy
Lucas,
toppy.
No,
would,
that'd
would
be
me
toppy
pointing my
middle.
gun at his face
Oh, that helps a
help
little.
with this by any chance?
And assist.
I think it is quite threatening, don't you think? I think he's been quite threatening. I'd let you re-roll that actually, since he's been quite threatening. As you come in, what is your question?
Tell the truth, or I'll set my friend on you.
Oh my!
In addition to having a gun, he's also rabid.
And as he looks up at the two floating men over there,
Don't worry about them right now.
oh, he's really worried about them.
They're fine up there. They'll stay there as long as I want them to stay there.
That's why he's worried. How did you do in your test?
Success.
Yes. He's like, well, his idea. He's the one who got us paid for it. Do.
Paid for what?
Paid for what?
He says, he says, framing the beast.
I told you the beast was being framed! Screams Maluvial.
Yeah, well, water under the bridge. Who paid you?
He says, that woman at the camp.
There's a couple of women. The elf? It was the elf?
What elf?
Pointy ears? It was the elf.
No, Johanna.
Red hair.
Black
Dark
hair.
hair.
Red eyes.
Black hair.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Blonde hair.
What?
Black hair was the elf.
I think there was miscommunication.
Oh, there was a
earlier.
miscommunication. We thought
No, she has blonde hair.
the elf has the
The elf has
Johanna.
black hair.
Oh, I was working on the wrong assumption, Lucas.
I apologise.
We all thought that the
Yeah.
elf had...
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Yes.
It might be helpful, Lucas, to have like drawings.
Oh
of
right,
the people.
yes. You know, this was off the cuff.
If you weren't so,
You know, yeah. Harsh. Harsh.
Right, so,
A little bit
so
harsh.
the lady with the blonde hair.
As he goes, yeah, it was.
And were you to kill this beast or just frame it?
He says, well, we were just we didn't expect the beast to be here. We didn't even think it were real. We live in Grousey, he says. As the one up there goes, you shut up! The one who's floating, the bigger one of the
we'll
two.
get to you in a second.
Point my gun at him.
He screws up his face and shuts it.
What is your business here framing an innocent creature?
Money!
Well, first of all, who killed Rutger?
He says, well, that was her fault. She was the one that wanted it done.
No.
I wasn't
Yeah, you can see what he's attempting to do there, says the one up there, as the little pudgy one says, you did it. We're just employed to help put the footprints out. We got all the kit just round the corner and it charged us. Shot it, you!
Does your guns have?
Yeah, I've got another one, don't
like
worry.
Triggers.
Yeah.
Cock one.
Yeah.
Oh my. I'm pretty sure it doesn't do it like that, but sure.
Why would I do it like that? I don't understand.
No.
I thought you.
Sorry. No, I was trying to do the.
The really, really
yeah,
small
definitely not
shotgun.
Holding it sideways.
Glock 44.
As he frowns and scowls.
That's one. One more lie, and I'll just let him do what he wants.
As the fat one goes, says, I ain't lying at all, sir. He says, oh, well, sir, I've got a very sore bum.
Yeah.
Just let us go.
We should get back to the cabin.
Yeah.
No, we are not letting you go. You are murderers.
You're coming with
Well,
You
us.
well,
framed
yeah.
this creature.
Bring them.
Yeah, we're less worried about the creature, but you participated in killing a man. That's what.
Yeah,
that's
well,
what we
did
mean
the
by
shooting-
murder
did the killing-
in these human lands.
The
did they kill
skinny
him?
one who did it said, it's a fair cop. He says, fair enough. You have caught me, like. He says, you could take me to the authorities. I'm a bit too scared of wizards to try and do anything.
Lucas.
I'll bring him down.
yes,
you
yes.
tie him up, Bird.
Yes, tie
With
them
all
all
of
up.
your rope work.
Yes.
Yes.
My spare one.
My lord.
The one,
Murder!
The one that done it.
Actual murder!
That is no, you cannot do that.
All right.
Then
well,
you're just the same as him.
He said he done it.
You're going to get sent into jail too.
You know that's not right. Dwarves are honourable people, my lord.
Yeah, but he's progressive, isn't he?
Sorry. Progressive don't mean dishonourable.
All right. Well, look, it's just blowing off some steam and having some fun. So, yes, I will agree that's not usual.
Maybe he shoots just to the side of him to scare him, make him wet himself.
Right, now, do you know what? Fine. All right, I won't shoot him dead, but I will put a bullet in him.
In his buttock.
Yes, that'll do.
It seems to be.
cleft.
Well, let's see how well you do.
Elric.
25 points if you hit the
Yeah,
bullseye.
fine.
Perfect. Right in, and in one cheek, out the other cheek, across the cleft, in the other cheek, where it lodges itself in the other side, Master. You have done quite the moon to him. As he says, "Oh bloody hell, that stings."
This basilisk, is it definitely dead?
Yes,
I'm just
I
checking.
do believe it just got straight through. It's a big corpse. It's far too large to be easily carried around. But if you wanted to take parts of it, you could.
Well, we did get asked to bring the
No,
head.
Yes,
but
we got
as a
asked-
distraction, we need to go
No,
back.
we got
Oh, yeah,
asked
of
to
course.
bring the head by a woman who murdered her business partner to get people to kill a basilisk. That is not good.
Or just to get us out of the way while she did something nefarious at the stone circle.
Don't worry, we had the strigony there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
like
I'm
they're
sure
going to
it's
stop
fine.
her.
Yeah,
Let
let's
us
go.
get back to the stone circle.
Yes.
Tie him up.
And bring the faking kit.
Leave them.
Well, yeah, like he's not going anywhere, and he's got a bullet in his ass, so he's not going anywhere either. So,
There's
No.
one more.
well, yeah, we can
And-
just time.
She must have hired
Tie them
them
both.
before we came.
Can we just float them back? Like a balloon on a string.
We must go back to the stone circle.
I think they're
Says
slowly
Maluvia.
like dipping now as the
As it runs out.
At least it's slow, I suppose. That's something.
It's not how I wanted it.
Yeah.
We could just
So,
tie them to a
what
tree.
is our plan? We tying them up and leaving them here to the elements, which is akin to murder, but not quite.
Well, we could come back for them.
You could, yes. Of course.
Sense of stricken.
Why do we not drag them back and use them to
Because
confront
there's
the
Because
women?
2 of them can hardly walk because they've been shot in the arse.
And there's also a river that
That's
we need
fine,
to
I'll
cross.
drag 'em.
I suppose you're strong enough. You can
Yeah,
put
I'll
one over
take
each
2.
shoulder.
One over each shoulder.
Yeah.
We'll between
Okay.
us. We'll
Gerhardt
sort
can take
it.
2 men at a time.
Yeah.
Damn right, one
We
each
go
hand.
back to the camp.
What?
Right.
Very,
Right.
very brawny.
Just not quite
so-
5 guys.
So, or McDonald's. So you make your way back carrying that one. The one who's tied up will happily wobble along till we arrive at, he says, the river. How are we getting across with our new packages?
Are you going to manage to lift us across, maybe?
I'll try.
The rope is still there, though.
I feel like the winds are still with me because I've cast so much magic.
So we
Well,
can
we'll see how it goes.
we grab the rope and you can lift us and we'll pull ourselves
Yeah.
as we're lifted.
Roll D10.
If we were playing the real game, that would be a crit.
Ooh. Maybe this is where you roll 10.
I can carry 7 people across. Well, there's
even
5 of you, 2 of them. That
3 of them.
means- Yeah,
But there's
but
one
2 of them
selling.
will be
Yeah,
the
yeah.
extra.
Yeah.
Well, no, just take these 2. I'll just use the rope. Like those
With the
of us
rope
who
in
need-
place, again, same test as before, says Lucas. As long as one of you pass, you're fine.
Well, you
Yeah,
have all
fine.
just been carried
Oh,
over.
you rolled the same thing.
Oh, that's fine.
Crit.
Another 11.
Excellent. Perfect. You're all across. So let us move back to the camp. Strigony have gone.
Balls.
The tents are still there, but the Strigony have gone.
Right roll.
To the stone
To the
circle.
circle.
Stone circle still there.
No
Just
one's
as it was
around.
before.
Is there any other sign of life in the camp?
Other than looking in the tent, which you have yet to do.
Let us look in the tent.
You can hear weeping coming from the tent where Joanna was.
Hello?
There's a pause and, hello? She calls out.
Why do you cry?
She says, it's just this place. It's this place. It's cursed. She says.
It's not guilt over having your business partner murdered.
There's a pause. You know,
Or elbow the murderer in the
we got
ribs.
'em
as he goes, oh! Fucking hell. That's me ass. That is the way right from one butt cheek into the other. He says.
Elbow his arse.
Yeah, but the joke.
Why
It
did
passed
you
right
do
through.
such a thing?
He says, I didn't, he did.
Not you, the woman in the tent.
Oh, right, sorry. I will stop talking.
Yeah,
he
you
says.
pack it in.
And she says, I don't know, I just couldn't sleep. And he was ruining everything. He was such an idiot. And we couldn't get rid of him.
Ruining what?
He lied again and again. He was meant to bring good things. He brought bad. He was meant to bring good people. He brought bad people. Nothing was working. It was all his fault. And I couldn't get out of it. And it was all. She hasn't even opened the tent yet. I couldn't do anything. She
We
cries.
start opening the
Let's
tent.
open the tent.
It's not particularly hard. She's in there by herself. She looks wretched.
Where's your sister?
Where is the elf?
Left me with the Strigony. When we discovered that the money was taken, it says the Strigony just left.
Not a close family then.
What?
You and your sister.
Olivia has no memory of her sister. Other than knowing her in knowledge, it seems out of character for her. Why did she leave?
Well, she won't get paid no more.
Oh, she was...
The money's been stolen by someone,
What?
she says, looking distraught.
Who is...
Probably the dwarf.
The dwarf.
Well, hang on. This woman has lied to us like multiple times. So do we do the old, you know?
Well, we should check and make sure.
Yeah,
money's not
okay.
in.
It's
Yeah.
fair to say
click.
this woman has no...
No, we just look. Tent's not that big.
This woman has no anything left. She's broken. She has no capacity to lie. Utterly broken.
Mercy killing?
Shut up!
Oh my goodness.
You are bloodthirsty.
If you wanted to play Birdie, you should have just said
Oh my goodness. Well, you learn a lot, don't you? My. She's just weeping again.
Father, can you give her some sort of spiritual guidance?
Sure. It might be good if you confessed your sins.
She did indeed.
Formally.
she did indeed hire someone in a stupor that she doesn't even understand to kill her partner, who was absolutely wretched.
I mean, knowing the nature of the Sigmarite faith, I doubt they offer absolution for that. They just say, well, at least we know now.
You done fucked up, John.
Yeah, that's not unfair.
Perhaps it's fair to say that you should just give up on this place, as it's brought you nothing but...
All of our money was sunk into it.
All your money's gone now anyway.
I know. That's
So,
why everybody else left.
Go home.
And she cries.
Where's the
This
barge
dwarf,
master?
how long has this dwarf been in your service?
Says, he hired him about 5 months ago.
And how long have you been here?
6. We've owned it for 6.
Right.
Did the barge master come back?
He just went off with everyone else.
He would have brought the rest of the stricken.
Because he went before we left to go and get his mother.
They just all left. Just left. They've just gone. And she starts crying again. She's clearly distraught.
I know what I would do in this situation, but I don't think the dwarf that I'm playing would know. Can I communicate that?
Well, if you think you've got something that isn't worth bringing up, sure, why not?
Can I just check first, just quickly, when she confessed her sins?
Yes.
Was there anything in there about like lying to us about what the dwarf had said? No. So, just to be clear, the dwarf definitely gave you the plans.
Yes.
And the dwarf wants the stones down.
Yes.
I mean, he could just be stupid and reckless, but
No, there's something up here.
yeah.
I want to go and check the stone circle again.
It's still standing there.
Now that I'm also part stone, I will, knock on it. Tippy, tippy,
Tippy
tap.
tappy. What were you going to say, my lord?
Well, I was usually in this sort of situation. In the past, we've kind of gone, this looks like a bit of a bad place, and we tell other people to come along and sort of clear it out. Right?
Yeah.
It's not an unfair assumption for how to
I
resolve
think
what's
we
left.
should take her
back to
safely.
receive some form of
Take her to
punishment,
Shalia.
presumably.
How? The barge is in bits.
Grousy's.
Oh, it's
How
it's
late
about
in the
half
day
a
is
day
it?
away.
It's
About
I
half a
was
day
thinking
away.
you have to go
very late in the
somewhere,
day,
so...
but you can still march off.
Yeah.
She has confessed her sins.
Right, so it's fair to say that she gets taken off, and let's have ourselves a very quick epilogue as to what occurs. She's executed, taken to Grousey, and then Grousey takes her to Ubersreich, where she is executed for her crimes. Now the question is, how well did we do?
Are we able to find
Very
any
well.
trace of the dwarf?
No direct trace of where he has gone. Right, so I shall now explain what was happening, so you can get an idea of how it went, assuming you want to know.
Oh, yes, very much so.
Yes, I would
Right.
desperately
So,
like to.
this is what you could have learned, and
That's what you
didn't.
could have won.
You did discover that the beast wasn't the murderer. That's good. That's quite good. That there was a setup going on there. She did employ the chappie to kill the beast. No, not the beast. To kill the partner, because the partner was in fact a complete wastrel. He just spent all of the money on himself. He went out drinking. They got a lot of money, and they got a lot of money by cheating the dwarf. But they didn't recognize him. They had no way of knowing who it was exactly. His entire family was put destitute, and his son had become a slayer because of the shame of the amount of money that had been lost. Rather than take on that slayer oath himself, he had decided to take some form of revenge by reclaiming the coin for his own clan, even though that was illegal, intending afterwards to probably take a slayer oath himself. That was his plan, to get in here, ruin everything, build a terrible thing, hire the worst staff possible, and then take all of the money when he had an opportunity. But the two keys were presenting him somewhat of an issue. But the place itself was indeed cursed. The only way to unleash the curse was to take down the stones. If you'd taken down the stones, you would have stopped the curse.
If you told us that, we'd have done it.
Well, how were you to know? You didn't know. So there's nothing to tell. There was no way of knowing. But that was the only way to resolve the issue, was to take down the stones. And the reason that this was brought up as a light college teaching technique was because nobody ever did. Everybody was convinced that one shouldn't touch the stones. And the lateral thinking required is what the light college was looking for. They were looking for people to look at all of the issues, and there was further things you could find if you dug down into the ground where erosion hadn't damaged the carvings beneath, because they went right down to the bottom of the ground.
Thought of that.
And it went down beneath, and you could have found quite a lot of... indeed, there was a barrow underneath there where an ancient witch had died. The source of the curse.
I have seen old stones that are further down.
Yes, quite. So,
What an idiot.
So you obviously did uncover that particular point, leaving the curse in place. And the curse is ancient, over 3,000 years old, and is tied to the basilisk, which is also over 3,000 years old, and is tied to protect the ancient grave of the witch that was underneath, which means that it's immortal. And it comes back to life.
Okay.
Do be glad. When I played this, we were young, but she led us through it. We carved up the basilisk. We sold it to a local butcher, who then, in turn, fed it to some people.
Oh no.
Who sadly, because of the nature of this creature's reconstitution, it doesn't just magically wake up. All of the bits roll back together, and people are being dragged by their bellies over towards the marsh, which of course we didn't see, but we got that as our particular outcome, which was frankly awful when we were discussing this one afterwards and we were having our sit down, because they all died as they all got pulled towards, and then their bellies burst out into the creature that was reforming. Absolutely awful. But this is all something that actually happened.
That really happened.
That actual event actually occurred.
Tell me the Light College have since dealt with the curse.
It's all been dealt. That particular stone circle is now gone. It was taken out. They learned all about it. They did the necessary things. They got, I believe, a purple wizard in who did some things to look back into the past to determine exactly what was happening there, and they got some extra details. They put it all together to build their story, and that was what it did. So you didn't get the best outcome, obviously. But it's very hard to get the best outcome unless you all work together and try to use the skills that you've decided are important to yourselves, and perhaps don't tease each other quite so much, I think. Because it builds bad blood. It makes people upset. And that's what we found also, because if anything, we were younger and we were stupider. And we were, if I'm absolutely blunt, we did some very crazy things. We actually tied one person up and tried to offer it. You don't want to know. But we had to get the beast out somehow. So that is how it occurred for us. So that, however, teasing aside, I think that was really good, because I've not seen you all laugh for about 2 weeks.
Yes, no, that was very good, Lucas. Well done.
Thank you, Lucas.
Always fun.
He says, I rather enjoyed that, actually. It was very silly, but I think we needed some silly.
And nobody mutated this time.
Well, yeah, no. Your end was not as bad as the end that I had when we played it through for the first time. I've run this one 3 times, and only one group did it really well. They were a group of philosophy students. A group of philosophy students back at Altdorf University. I was it was just before I graduated. So I was 25, and I took them through that, and they were organized. They came down, they talked to everybody, they got all their backstories, they sat there and spent some time trying to figure out each part. They put it all together, and they were on point. The murder still occurred. They didn't actually find out about the murder till later because they took down the stones. Quite a good one. They were the best one. I mean, truth be told, no one's really done it well, but it doesn't really matter. That's that one. I quite enjoyed that one. So that was if looks could thrill. He says. If you ever want to do this again in future, perhaps when our spirits are low, perhaps we will, and perhaps we won't. We'll see. But thank you, because I don't know about you, but I needed it. And that's it. He says, right.
Perhaps next time.
I would like my dice back, by the way.
Perhaps next time there could be a musical theme, and it could be if lutes could thrill.
Oh.
No, I see what you've done there. It's quite terrible.
I was inviting you to play us a happy tune.
Oh, right. Okay, sure.
Pass
Would
me
you
my
like to
flute,
play us a
Elric.
happy tune to finish off, sir?
Elric is going to pass me my flute now.
A happy tune?
We shall play together. We'll play
Lutes and
together.
flutes could thrill.
Okay, what would you like to play?
Cheerful.
Something cheerful. I
Right.
heard this one in Black Powder Week in Nuln. And it was a good tune.
What tune are you thinking on? What sort of tune are you thinking on? Do your rolls. Let's see
And
how
that's
well you do
dance.
it.
Oh, I-
A nice.
I'll use your fortune for it.
Presumably you've got +20 on this.
Oh, yeah.
That did not help. Yes, I passed the second.
It's okay. Who got the most successes out of the pair of you?
I got
Five?
3.
Okay, so
that was
5 plus 1, because one's assisting.
Yeah.
So that's 6. That's good.
it.
A good rendition of this particular tune.
I play whatever the old world equivalent of Shoot to Thrill by AC/DC is.
Love it! And for the first time in what feels like forever on the barge, he plays positive music. His heart somewhat lightened, at least for an evening. And with that, quite frankly, ridiculous episode, which I very much needed because, like the rest of the party in there, I'm not feeling great. We bring that episode to a close.